Obligation consultation at 833-594-0077 or online at LoneStarTransfer.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Is your closet organized? Let's face it, most closets are cluttered and a hassle to organize, but that's just because they aren't designed around your specific needs. One Bath & Closets works closely with you to design your space where it makes sense for you and clears the clutter away. From shoe racks, baskets, seasonal storage, mirrors, drawers, cubbies, and doors, One Bath & Closets can make your dream closet a reality. Go with an industry leader in bathroom and now closet remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Monday, August 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 97. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap Saints-Cardinals and discuss the NFL preseason as a whole as far as week one goes. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome in Monday, OTB, August 12th, and we got football to talk about. It's a great weekend of sports. We had NFL preseason. We got some LSU practice reports to get to. Blake Baker met with the media. I thought I offered some very honest and great insight that we'll take a listen to as well. Taylor was out of practice. He can report back. The Olympics closed out over the weekend. Fantastic, legendary performance from Steph Curry and your U.S. men's basketball team. There was breakdancing routines coming out of Australia that have shaped the internet. Tom Cruise jumping off of buildings, in which I can't decide if it was that tight or not. It was kind of tight, but we'll try to judge it maybe a bit later on. But a great weekend to be sure. How's everyone feeling here on this Monday as we are now 20 days away from LSU kickoff? The train is hurtling down the tracks, guys. There ain't no stopping it. How we feeling?
That breakdancing was just this weekend. That felt like that was 2 weeks ago with as much as I've seen it.
Am I crazy? Right?
You might be right. I don't know.
I finally this morning looked up the full routine because I'd seen all the memes. So I looked up all of Ray Gunn's routines, and it was even funnier than I thought. I was sitting there in my office just laughing like a madman alone. Alondra, how are we feeling today?
I feel good. I'm a little tired, a little bit.
Okay, not
I feel great.
Inverse of what we needed. Don't speak that into existence. You got to fake it till you make it.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Okay, Taylor, how are you feeling?
I'm a little concerned about how this day is going to go, guys. I'm going to be very honest. I walked outside. I was about to get in my truck. Black cat staring me in the face.
Ooh.
And then I turn away for a split second, look back, black cat's gone. I have no idea where it went. Ooh. Is it still at my house? And did it climb up in my truck somehow? I don't know. I was a little weirded out coming to work this morning, but we're going to try to overcome that.
Do we have fears of black cats still?
Well,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've never had
some people.
Yeah, I've never had. I don't know.
It's a superstition for sure. I don't know about a fear, but a superstition for sure. Tay-Tay started Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
I watched episode 1 last night.
Nice. Okay. How about that ending, dude?
Yeah, it was.
That ending is quite the hook in terms of.
I did want to watch another one, and I looked at my phone. It was about 11 o'clock, and I was like, I can't do it.
I will never forget watching that first episode for the first time, and at the end being like, oh, whoa, okay, so that's what this show is about. Crazy in multiple ways. Yeah. Okay, right on. I look forward to getting reports from you on your journey.
Was that the window?
Yeah, that was it.
So you see something crazy through the window, and then what happens immediately after, and the casualness that it's done with is even more insane.
I know. He was just like, peace out.
Yeah, he's like,
peace out, little homie.
Then again, if you get caught in that situation, you don't really have a choice. No, you gotta kill the person. You gotta kill the kid.
So Victoria had already watched it like years ago. She's just rewatching it because she wants me to sit down and watch it too. Our reactions to that last scene could not have been more different.
Was she not into it? Was
Taylor
she freaked out?
No, I mean, she was like after it was over, she looked at me. She goes, "Can you believe what he did to that kid?" And I was like, "Were they brother and sister?" that was our response. That was the reaction difference.
Great. That's awesome. Now we can get Taylor Game of Thrones reviews as he works through what was one of the most giant pop culture sensations of our day and age. All right, guys, who's playing for the first hour? Saints-Cardinals here off the bat. I'm going to give you some hot off the press Carfax. Then we got. I want to look at all of the. I think this is going to be a fascinating year for the NFL because of all these first round quarterbacks. Right? It ties like 1983 or whatever. The classes with Elway and Marino and all them. I want to kind of pit them against one another week by week, see who did best. And well, you got action from all of them this weekend. Some looked really good, some barely played. We can touch on all. How did Jaden Daniels do? We'll let you know. But let's start with the New Orleans Saints as the Saints beat the Cardinals on a game-winning kick. You know what that means? Car fact number 1, Derek Carr now 2-0 as a starter in 2024. How about it, guys? How about it? Unfortunately, the first-team offense left a bit to be desired.
So story of the day? Starter?
Yes, you're right. Big story of the day. Let's get it started with some Saints.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help you take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
True turnkey service, guys. Tiger Labor and Staffing is. They take care of payroll, paperwork, everything. If you need the right employees for your job or if you are looking for some work, right? If you are a prospective employee, go get in touch with Tiger Labor and Staffing. Local, been at it for over a decade. We guarantee you are going to find the correct answers to your problem. Tiger Labor and Staffing. Time to get to work, as we said. The New Orleans Saints got to work on Saturday night against the Arizona Cardinals, and there were a lot of eyes on this first-team offense. How would they do? Unfortunately, there's really no way to spin it except for that it was, I would say, a confirmation of a lot of Saints fans' greatest fears. 9 snaps, 18 yards, 2 punts. The offensive line did not do well. Trevor Penning and Lucas Patrick, the 2 positions on that line you're concerned with the most, looked like weaknesses. And there was really nothing to write home about from the first team offense. Now, I do think, for what it's worth, Clinton Kubiak, you're not doing your full offense according to all of these Saints beat writers. It's definitely a bit different than what you've seen in practice. But when you're doing simple things like that, you would definitely hope that the execution would have been at a higher level because the defense is also doing simple things. And so then it's about like, okay, how good are you? And this maybe shows that these Saints' weaknesses are about as weak as we originally thought here.
Yeah, so if you're doing the basic stuff, you should not go, okay, so basic means, okay, we're 6 yards, 8 yards, whatever it might be. We're not going to push the ball down the field, but we're going to be efficient. Basic isn't incomplete, 10 yards, incomplete, 2 yards. That's not basic. It's basically terrible is what it is. Like, if you're going to do like a preseason script, hey, here's going to be our first 10 or whatever, like there should be easy completions in there. I didn't see that. You had 1 first down with the first unit, right? You couldn't connect with your receivers. I mean, you were 2 of 6 if you're Derek Carr. 2 of 6.
I love it. Workman-like day. Bring your lunch pail to work, guys.
Yeah,
it's a hard hat day from Carr.
Yeah, 2 of 6, 12 yards, average 2 yards per attempt, quarterback rating of 42.4.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now the other quarterbacks, which we'll get to, it was better. Certainly Jake Haener had a better day than Derek Carr. Like, again, like don't just tell me that they didn't have their full playbook. Okay, well, I'm not expecting them to go 25 of 30 for 350 and 3 tuds, but you would expect them to go, 5 of 6 for 43 yards and a couple of first downs.
There was, Olave had his guy burned on the deep ball. Pressure, imagine this. Pressure getting Carr's throw off schedule. You end up missing that. If you hit that, everything's different, but you didn't. And that's been the problem with Carr in the offense last year was an inability to handle pressure, and with a bad offensive line, well, you're obviously going to have to. So, look, there's nothing to be excited about with what you saw out of the first team offense. But that's not to say there's nothing to be excited about because I thought the defense looked absolutely fantastic. And I understand why we talk about the offense so much because it's your greatest insecurity. And a lot of times, especially in like sports talk, you don't spend time celebrating the things you know you're good at. You more spend times worrying about the things that you know that you're bad at. And I get why, right? Because that's generally what determines your results more. It's a weak link type of sport. But I do want to spend a minute or two here really focusing in on a defense that was 9th in the league in scoring 2 years ago. And they thought they were played way below their potential. They changed the entire coach staff. They go to 6th in scoring defense last year. They add Chase Young over the weekend, draft Kool-Aid McKinstry. Kool-Aid didn't have the greatest day, but still, this Saints defense, fantastic. 4 sacks, 15 pressures. Nathan Shepard and Carl Granders are the great sack out the gate. Chase Young and Brian Brzee get involved. Chase Young looks as good as advertised during camp. This is a Saints defense that could be a top 5 defense in the entire NFL. And if you're going to make the playoffs, that's going to be the reason why, right? The offense is going to have to do enough, but you are going to be a defensively led team, and they look like they're going to be better than ever with Chase Young in there, with a second-year Brzee, Pete Werner a year older. That was without Marshawn Lattimore on Saturday, but we know the secondary's fine. Imagine if you end up adding a Simmons. I don't know. We'll see. But yes, I thought the defense, there was like, as disappointed as you were in the offense, you should probably be as excited about the defense.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the defense. The defense is something that, like you said, it's been really good, and they've added some really good players. When you add a Chase Young, when you add a Kool-Aid McKinstry, Brian Brzee, I thought having the sack and showing flashes like he did, that could be as important as anything that you have on the defensive side of the football to get a defensive tackle that can rush the quarterback like that. Because I like Nathan Shepard and I like where they're at in the interior in the run game.
Shepard's really
good.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he had another good day. But if Brzee can give you if you've got Granderson and Young on the edges, and you've got Cam Jordan and Brian Brzee in the inside on third downs, good luck. Like, that can be one of the best, peso, whatever you want to call it, units in the NFL. And so, seeing that is really good. You know what the defensive backfield is. You know the coverage guys you have at linebacker. Yeah, the defense is something that is a strength. It's something that we feel really good about, and I think it only can get better.
Yeah.
As Chase Young gets back into game shape, as Brian Brzee goes from year 1 to year 2, you've got
Granderson now empowered, coming up a great year. Like he just
and he kind of knows
he's the guy now.
Yeah, they didn't go draft like a first-round edge guy. Like they know like he's got a role on this team. You look at the defensive backfield; those young players, Alontae Taylor, Paulson Adebo, they're only going to continue.
Yeah,
to give. I thought Jordan Howden had a couple of nice moments. He played. Gosh, he must have played 25 to 30 snaps.
I had a here. I can get a snap count brought up real quick, but continue.
28.
Okay, there you go.
28. He had 28 snaps, and I thought he had some nice moments. It was good to see him out there, and you could tell that they're okay. You bring in Simmons, you kind of start talking about that position. We know it's not for Tyrann Mathieu, okay? And when Jordan Howden plays 28 plays in the first preseason game, when some of the other starters played 10,
yeah.
Okay, it's him. That's who you want to see a little bit more from. That's what that indicates to me. Just being in that situation before, they play him 28 plays when, look, you look across, Cam Jordan plays 7, Alontae Taylor plays 10, Nathan Shepard plays 10 plays, right? Some of your starters, Brian Brzee played 23. So him playing that many plays tells me that they want to see a little bit more from him, and I actually thought he had a pretty nice preseason game 1.
So other nice nights. A.T. Perry, who needed a big game.
Big.
Yeah, 4 targets, 4 catches, 85 yards. Maybe the dude's just a gamer because like one of the storylines throughout camp has been that A.T. Perry's just been kind of a non-factor, and Dennis Allen being very upfront about how we need to see more out of him. Well, ultimately, what decides your preseason fate is honestly what you do in these games, and so A.T. Perry's certainly helping himself out. And then how could you not be excited about how the backup quarterbacks played? Now, Jake Haener gets lost in the mix here, but 9 of 13 for 107. Really solid stuff from Haener. Continuing has been a sharp camp from him overall. But the reason why he gets lost in the sauce is because Spencer Rattler is tantalizing.
Yeah.
9 of 17 for 70 yards, which maybe doesn't sound as good as it kind of felt watching it. The ball really does jump out of his hand. Like when you hear about the arm talent from Rattler, it is something that you can see immediately. You saw him lower the truck stick, find a way to get into the end zone. Playing hard, you love seeing that. He had the big-time back shoulder throw perfectly put in there for the game-winning field goal to Nacua.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, look, I think people are maybe trying to speed up Spencer Rattler's timeline a little too much.
Right.
In terms of like, make him the starter now.
I agree.
But it is tantalizing.
Yeah.
It is exciting. And I feel for Haener because I don't know exactly what you do here because Haener's also playing really, really well, but he doesn't have the raw physical skill set of a
Spencer Rattler a couple of years ago was talked about as a top 5 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And looking at his size, and we've met him, he's not your typical QB1 first round pick size guy. I mean, he's just not. He's maybe 6 foot, maybe.
Yeah, he's not. He's not very big.
So he doesn't have the measurables. That's what I'm saying though. But he doesn't have the measurables. But his arm talent was so much so that he was going to be, if he continued playing like he was, a first round pick. And then he goes through some trials and tribulations. And here comes Caleb Williams, this generational talent, takes his job. He goes to South Carolina where he's behind the bomb squad, and he makes the most of it. Never complains. Goes out there, does his work. So, yeah, there's a lot to like about him. I mean, his game, he's got some of his skills are first-round skill sets.
Yeah.
Now, there's some things that he still needs to work on, and I think being behind that bomb squad for 2 years in South Carolina probably takes you a step back in some of those growth areas that you would like to have because as soon as you get the ball, you're running for your life. But, yeah.
You think it helps him or hurts him having to go behind that?
Kind of both.
Yeah.
I think both. Like, he had to, on the run, figure it out. But also, like, there's probably some, like, mechanical things you get away from because you don't have the ability to do so, right? It's like, hey, once you hit this back foot, your eyes are here. And it's like, I can't hit my back foot. I'm backpedaling back here. I can't do that. But, yes, I agree with everything. And I thought Haener, he looked really good. And that's a Kalen DeBoer quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's somebody that – when he was in college, we'd start talking about a group of 5 quarterbacks. Like, he was one of the first guys that we would mention and who he was. Remember, he was going to go to Washington with Kalen DeBoer, And then for whatever reason that fell through, Penix ends up in Washington. So who knows if Jake Haener would have been in Washington. He was in the portal going to Washington and then went back to Fresno State.
The thing is, the Rattler can't hit waivers at this point.
No,
right?
No.
Like it is very clear.
I guarantee you, if he hits waivers after watching the Los Angeles Chargers play this weekend, they will select Spencer Rattler over Easton Stick.
So he's guaranteed on the roster.
I think all three of them are guaranteed.
And then but are you really going to trust him as the main backup? So yeah, but all of them doing exactly what they need, and Haener's doing well enough. Remember, this is what your coaches always tell you: these preseason games are a tryout for all 32 teams, not just the team you're on. Put good film out there, and if you do end up getting cut, you'll have a very good chance of getting picked
for young players. Yeah,
for young players.
Yeah, for young players.
Charlie Smith, love seeing him. He's in the kicking battle with Blake Gruby, but I just like seeing him how pumped he was after the game-winning field goal. I mean that matters when to that locker room. It's fun to win. Executing and kicking a game-winning field goal as you're trying. Where's he from? Ireland, right? Yep. So here you are, first NFL game. Who cares if it's a preseason? I loved watching them celebrate. That was just a very, very good moment.
In that moment, you don't. I mean, it's a preseason, but you don't. I mean,
no, hell no, bro. I remember back in the day. We had an old O-line coach that had been in the NFL for probably 2 decades at that point, Coach Boudreaux, not from Louisiana. And
you had an O-line coach named Coach Boudreaux.
Yeah, and no Louisiana ties whatsoever.
It's like Thibodeau from Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I remember, I'll never forget this. But it was like after we had a nice drive, we scored. I think it was the first touchdown that I was in on, and I was celebrating my ass off. And I remember highlighting it and being like, see that's the passion that we want to see here. So I felt like I was brought back when I saw Charlie Smith kick that that game-winning field goal.
My first preseason game I scored against Dallas, I spiked that thing so hard.
Hell yeah, dude. A lot of work. A lot of work goes to get to that moment, man. So overall, I would say I feel worse about the offense.
Yeah.
Really excited about the defense. So kind of a wash overall for me personally.
You want to know who your 3 lowest graded players were on offense?
Trevor Penning, Lucas Patrick, and Derek Carr.
You were so close. Derek Carr with a 44.4, Cesar Ruiz with a 41.8, and Trevor Penning, the lowest rated player on your team, with a 41.4, and he played 24 plays where Carr and Cesar Ruiz only played 9.
Yeah, Penning had an undeniably bad day. And Lucas Patrick struggled. And all the offensive line concerns are exacerbated, which that actually tips it into being a bad day overall because that could sink the entire season.
Lucas Patrick, his pass blocking grade was 19.3. Cesar Ruiz, he actually had a 0 pass protection grade.
I mean,
he didn't even.
That's the Carfax.
He didn't get his name, I guess, on the test in time.
If those are the tires of the car, well, they leave a lot to be desired. They're bald. One's got a leak, like a slow, insidious leak. They got to keep filling up every other day.
Shocker, Eric McCoy was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, in film, I wonder what his demeanor's like in film. Because, you're doing
SMH.
your job. You're right there in the middle of the defense, and the guy to your right and the guy to his right are just not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you continue to play really well. He's a really good player.
I don't know. That sucks. Yeah, that's So, all right. It was what it was. Other Saints, just real quick here. The joint practice with the Niners have been canceled. Niners suffering 2-minute energy, so Kyle Shanahan called them up and said, no go. When we get back, I want to look at Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy. And then we can throw Rattler in there as well and kind of rank him, how they all play over the weekend. We also got a ton of LSU coming up as well. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to ColemanRoof.com to get the Coleman Roofing and Construction, Louisiana's most reliable, most respected, and most complete roofing company. You can request a free inspection right there on the website. You just put your name, your email, your phone number, and a little blurb about how they can help. They get in touch with you immediately. And I don't care if it's a commercial project, residential. They do it all. It's anywhere in Louisiana. It's any type of roof, okay? And it's the construction as well. So if you do have some sort of interior damage, they'll fix that and fix the roof. So a literal one-stop shop. Go to ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com.
Yeah, once you go to the website, look at that top right corner. It's going to give you the contact information. Remember, they are throughout the state of Louisiana. Tell you exactly who to call in your area. And also, it's commercial, it's residential. It is a true one-stop shop. They can do it both. That is the construction portion of Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. The Tigers kick off a new week of fall camp. We'll have a practice report, and we'll recap Saints-Cardinals from the preseason. Join us Monday, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Nothing getting a little Monday good vibes going like a little linger. Leave it until we hear Fool for You Once, Alondra, and then we can change it. So I want to get into here is, like I said, I want to go through all these rookie quarterbacks. We got a ton to choose from. I guess we could start with Drake May. I guess we should wait a second, maybe. Turn it up a little bit. Yeah, crank that. Crank it for it. Here we go. I mean, that could describe how I feel about Jaden Daniels, honestly. And my man looked sick as hell in the few snaps that we saw him in. I'm sorry, I mean like good. He looked badass. Taylor, look at the video I have of Dan Quinn under Jaden Daniels here and get ready to play that. But, yeah, so you saw Jaden Daniels in his first NFL action, Jake. 3rd and 6. They have a screen pass called, and Dan Quinn describes it as a Top Gun Buzz the Tower moment as Jaden Daniels checks out of the screen and throws a 42-yard go route into a tight window. Absolute dime. The exact same thing we saw him do at LSU all year last year. First down. How does he end the drive? With a zone read where he pulls the ball and walks into the end zone. A-plus stuff out of Jaden Daniels. Here's what Dan Quinn had to say.
To have Jaden check into that big play, I mean, how encouraging is that to see a guy come out and just have no fear to...
It's an interesting question, checking into it. I thought of Top Gun. Do I have permission to buzz the tower? No, Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. And so I think on that one, he wanted to ask for forgiveness and not permission, and then throw, an absolute dime, over the top to Diami to go. So it was a really cool play. I think it probably illustrates for him the awareness and checks and things that go into it. So, yeah, he did not ask for permission, so he went ahead and buzzed the tower anyway. So it was a really cool play.
Oh, defensive-minded head coach can't decide how he feels about it. I mean, it is a weird thing, right? Because honestly, you want that. You want that, right? You would rather have a quarterback that has that natural courage and gumption and then maybe have to pull back a bit as opposed to trying to coax it out of him. And what growth from Jaden Daniels 2 years ago, that's all we needed for him to take one shot. And now here he is in his first NFL series saying, F it, I'm going deep. Shout out, Jaden.
Yeah, that is wild that just a couple of years ago, you're playing against Tennessee and Brian Kelly meets you on the hash saying one-on-one is open, throw it, because he was careful with the football. Like Brian Kelly, remember, he's like, throw an interception.
Yeah.
Take a chance.
Just go for it.
Come on, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be perfect. And from that moment on, really, because it started in his junior season, like from that moment on, he became one of the best deep ball throwers in football.
Yeah.
And so he finishes that year. We know what he did a year ago, throwing the football down the field. Without question, the best deep ball thrower in college football last year. And, of course, his first completion is going to be exactly that, and an absolute dime on a play that he checked to, because now he's got that confidence. He doesn't have to be perfect. He knows that now. Like, whatever that was, like, we talked about the yips in the last segment, like Trevor Penning. He's got the yips. Like, he's lost. You can also like go the complete opposite. Like you can be terrified of something maybe, and it takes that one moment, that one completion. Oh, I'm pretty good. I can do this. Oh, this is something that I've got in my tool bag. Let me go ahead and be the best at it, and that's what he's done so far.
So Jaden Daniels, I'm giving A+ marks here in his first NFL action. Drake May, just meh, maybe like an NA almost. He got like 6 plays. I think like 2 or 3 passes, not anything to really write home about. Honestly, Joe Milton was the more exciting Patriots rookie quarterback.
He was.
I thought that Michael Penix looked very comfortable out there. Finishes 9-16 for 104, but making very quick decisions, getting the ball out of his hands. A couple inaccurate moments, but he very much felt like the player that he did at Washington.
Yeah, the ball looked like it just flew out of his hands. Yeah. I mean, it looked crisp, tight spirals, knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football on his completions, driving the football down the field. And so a lot of the conversation for him last year was it's only outside the numbers. It's only outside the numbers. And a lot of it was. I mean, he had 3 pro receivers, and so they were going to take advantage of that space, and he was so good pinpointing where he wanted to put it between the numbers and sideline. But it was good to see him, if you're a Falcons fan, maybe not good for us here talking Saints. He was using the middle of the football field.
Yeah.
Like, he used it a ton. And so that is something that I think he was just not asked to do at Washington. Not that he can't do it. It's not in his repertoire.
Caleb Williams, I thought, started really great. He started 4-4 for 95, finished 4-7. So, maybe took a little hit. But overall, a very good day, I'd say, for Caleb Williams as well.
Yeah, had a long screen pass. Kind of a Caleb Williams type play. Kind
of flicked it over.
Yeah, exactly. And DeAndre Swift takes it. But, hey, those all count the same.
But he had a really, I'm trying to remember, he had a really nice throw on the run where you could see all that special Caleb Williams talent. I think 18's a weird number in a Bears uniform. I don't know why, but
18's a great number in every uniform there.
I just looked odd to me. It just looked odd to me in a Bears uniform. But it's a lot to live up to, too. So we'll see, but solid day for him. I don't know what to make of Bo Nix's day, because Bo Nix, watching live, I thought looked a little subpar, like a little I thought he looked a little hesitant. I think physically he doesn't appear to have the same arm that a lot of these other guys do. I mean, he can definitely run the ball. We saw that. But then I look up and he's like 15 to 21 for 125 and a touchdown. I'm like, maybe I was just out there trying to confirm my own biases. I don't know what to make of Bo Nix day. I didn't think it looked very maybe dependable but not dynamic is how I'd say it looked. Yeah. But again, the stats are the stats, and that's a good day.
So I hadn't get a chance to watch this one live. I did go back and try to watch some of the tape. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you saw as well. He did look like just the most athletic player on the field at times as well. He did. His athleticism translated to the first preseason game.
Yeah.
Now, because against the people he was going against, that makes a lot of sense. I'll be curious to see if that goes over to if he ends up being the starting quarterback and he's going against the ones. Can he make some of the plays? Because honestly, his athleticism allowed him to do a lot back there that I'm not sure he's going to be able to do when it's ones on ones. Now, again, I don't want to take anything away from him because I, like you, I was like,
this didn't look good.
Right, because I saw the stats and then went back and watched it.
You're like,
and I was like, okay, well, I thought I was going to be like, okay, well, Sean Payton's got another one. I didn't have that feeling. I had more of a feeling of it was who he was going against. But again, I don't want to take that away from him. We'll see if he can do it when it's really it's good on good and not good on threes.
And then finally, look, we're running out of time here. We're going to be quick. But J.J. McCarthy, I thought, looked the best of any rookie quarterback. Him and the Vikings look like a perfect match. Kevin O'Connell must be such a quarterback-friendly sort of offense, setting you up for success because he looked completely confident. They even threw a pick and then immediately came back and scored another touchdown. It ends up 11-17, 188, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But the thing is, just looked so comfortable taking shots, throwing into tight windows, got a big 4th and 2, big third quarter touchdown, willing to stand in and take a hit. I thought J.J. McCarthy looked really, really solid in that first preseason game.
Even the throw before his interception was a great pro throw. A tight window. The guy's not really, air quotes, open. You threw him open. I was like, okay. Now he threw a pick, and I was like, you can't do that. You can't throw it late like that, kind of across your body as you're going towards the sideline. But those are things that you would hope if you're the Vikings you can get fixed because there was so much good.
Yeah.
Everything else looked like it was polished. And, Minnesota is in a situation where they're going to have to choose. Do we play it safe with Sam Darnold or do we go with our first-round quarterback? Sam Darnold didn't look great. There was still something it is surprising. And I know he's still super young compared to some of the quarterbacks, even though he's been in the league a long time. It's surprising to me how much football Sam Darnold has played, and he hasn't learned from some of the elementary type things that he does wrong.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't have it. I don't know. But look, I thought on the whole, all the rookies acquitted themselves well in their first game, maybe the exception of a Drake May. So we'll continue.
Does Drake May just seem like I don't want to say boring, but kind of.
Well, the Patriots are just boring.
Yeah.
The Patriots are the most boring team in the NFL right now. I would say.
There's just no juice whenever I try to sit down and watch Drake May in a Patriots uniform, and maybe it's a combination of both.
Joe Milton, though? All right, when we get back, more OTB. Let's talk some LSU coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You want pools, you need outdoor living areas, you need fences of any size or type, bulkheads, pergolas. You want to put turf in your backyards. You need pool maintenance. Year-round or just one time to get you ready? Well, guess what? It's all at Pinnacle Exterior Construction. And guys, go to the website, PECbuilt.com, so you can see the gallery for yourself. The artisanship is going to blow you away. It's so quality. It's so quality. It's so good. Go to PECbuilt.com today.
Yeah, go to the website and see what they can do for you. But also remember, when we're talking about pools, we're talking about building fences, bulkheads, outdoor living spaces, residential and commercial. So if you're looking to do something at your business, artificial turf, you want to lay that down to your business, they can come in, they can do that. But also, like in the backyard, if you want a putting green, a place to work out, it is truly a game changer. PECbuilt.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, Hendry, and Taylor hanging out with you today. Talking a lot of NFL preseason. Kind of fun, man. NFL being back, going and watching YouTube highlight packages of rookies. And whatever else is having it on the TV. Definitely feeling like football is back. I got to say, I thought Jaden Daniels looked really cool in a Commander's uniform. I didn't mention that. Like, that's, if he ends up being as cool as he was in college and the beast that he was in college, which, it certainly looks like he has the capability to do so, that will be one of the best jerseys to buy and wear in the entire NFL. Also, you know what? I think somebody said, I hope Caleb Williams sucks. I think the Bears having an exciting quarterback, while not ideal for the Saints because that makes an NFC team stronger, I think that could be very fun. It's something that we have literally never seen. And I'm not exaggerating,
No,
right?
you're not.
No, the Bears have never had a great quarterback. Jim McMahon was solid, a winner, certainly.
Solid.
But they've never had an overwhelming guy. I also think the Commanders being good in the post-Dan Snyder era and having a great young quarterback could be exciting as well. So a couple things to keep an eye on there. Taylor, you went to LSU practice. We got a lot of Blake Baker audio to get to. We'll probably switch to LSU for quite a few segments here now. Also, I have some insecurities that are continuing to plague me about this LSU team. Taylor, you went to practice, so what are your big practice takeaways?
The defense is at least a lot more competitive than they were this time last year. I mean, last year you're like, oh man, the offense is great, but it looks like they're running routes on air half the time. Now, I will say, I think the D-line has actually improved more than the DBs. Because when they were running 11 on 11, I mean, Nussmeier struggled. The offense as a whole struggled. There were some low snaps from DJ Chester, which forced Nussmeier to rush his throw. Ended in a pick. But 7 on 7, Nussmeier's just playing pitch and catch back there. So, I mean, I think the D-line's actually improving a little bit more than the DBs are. No Gio Paez out there on Saturday. I thought that was a little interesting. Baker never really said why he wasn't out there. I mean, this was a guy that looked really good, was working with the ones right next to Jacoby and Guillory. They had Jalen Lee and Kemo McAneal in his place. Savion Jones actually played a little tackle. It was the first time I saw him there. He was kind of
you can bump him down on third down and stuff if you need to.
Secondary remained the same. Jordan Gilbert looks really good at safety. Jordan Allen's coming along as well. I don't know if he'll be there permanently. Did they move Sage Ryan back to safety? It was still Ryan and Stamps on the outside. Major Burns is star with Jawan Johnson mixed in a little bit.
Yeah, he's been they've been grooming him as the two.
He looked good. And if you put in an extra DB along with Major Burns, it has been Jair Brown. I guess is more like the traditional nickel. That's kind of who was out there with the ones on Saturday. The bad news, I don't think there's any way Zy Alexander is ready for the opener. He looked slow out there. He was out there. He's still recovering from that injury. He's running with the threes a little bit. He just looked hesitant. He had that big brace on his leg. Like, he'll give you something. I don't think it's going to be in the opener, though.
Yeah, I mean, no. And when we get to the Baker sound, he talked about Zy. And yeah, look, man, it's an ACL recovery. It's not just physical, it's mental. Also, they talk about him just hitting 20 miles an hour the other day again for the first time, which you gotta be pretty consistently playing around that speed, I guess, at that position. So, all right, let's do this. We're gonna go to break. When we get back, I actually have a couple Joe Burrow thoughts I want to get to real quickly because Chad's talking about Burrow right now, and then we'll kick back into LSU to start hour 2. We'll explore some of those practice reports, get to all the Blake Baker sound. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota is your one-stop vehicular shop, y'all. If you want to buy a brand new vehicle, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get excellent warranty coverage and whatnot, All-Star's there for you, man. And so check out the national sales event going down right now. You can see all the great prices at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Or you can just go see them off of Airline and Goodwood. Remember, if you need a body shop or a service center, all makes and models welcome. Doesn't have to be Toyota, doesn't have to be from All-Star. Go bring it in today. Get the free estimate. Get your vehicle fixed. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go to the website today to see what they've got for you, for your family, to meet your needs. They're going to have something. We can guarantee you that. They've got something for everybody. Buying new, leasing, or renting. Everything is available no matter what you're looking for. Full-size, mid-size SUVs, trucks, van, hybrid, sedan. They literally have it all over at All-Star. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscone. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, quick thought here on Joe Burrow, because chat was talking about Burrow, what he's going to do this year. He'll always be hurt. I thought this was very interesting from Warren Sharp, who works with a lot of NFL teams on like analytics, and I've always found has very kind of interesting point. He looks at a lot of elements of the game that maybe we don't always champion, because generally in this kind of entertainment venue, we stay pretty surface level and we just talk about the things that are easiest to see and we'll talk about. Well, the Bengals last year actually played the toughest schedule in the NFL. They played 11 games against playoff teams. That is the most in the NFL since at least the year 2000, Jake. They played 14 games against teams over 500. Again, the most in the NFL since at least 2000. Within that, Joe Burrow made only 5 healthy starts, and they still won 9 games and almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, again, think about that. And it's at least since 2000. We don't know how far back it goes, but at least for a quarter of a century, the Bengals played the toughest schedule. Joe Burrow only made 5 healthy starts. They still won 9 games and made the playoffs. This year, going into the year, they appear to have the 6th easiest schedule in the entire NFL. So this is like when you look at like record and one-score games, and if you see that a team's like 6-0 and one-score games, well, you can be like, oh, okay, well, that might take a step back this year because like the law of averages should get to you here a bit. Well, in that same way, right, the Bengals maybe, well, I understand being frustrated if you're a Bengals fan last year, probably better than what their final record would have indicated, and looks like they could take a very big jump this year. So if you want to get in on some early stock, maybe buy the Bengals while it's still relatively low, plus the bleach blonde hair. Just a little food for thought for our guy, Joey B.
I think, yeah, they'll be fine. And you look at what they have coming back, and you lose Joe Mixon, but you sign Zach Moss. Chase Brown, you remember how much I loved him at Illinois.
Yeah.
He's going to be back and probably, split time with Zach Moss at running back. You're able to get T. Higgins to sign the franchise tenure. He's back in the fold. Yeah, I mean, you go get another solid tight end. The defense is probably the story that doesn't get told enough when you start talking about the Bengals. I mean, they've got a very solid defense, and so they'll be fine. I mean, if Joe stays healthy, which I get, it's a big if, but if he stays healthy, they'll be right back where they were.
So here's some of my insecurity that I was referencing with LSU is me and the boys. So I brought the Xbox up to the lake this weekend, and a couple of my buddies had never played NCAA before, and so they were playing, right? And they were playing LSU USC, and I don't. It's just that USC offense is cooking, and the O-line was straight up dominating the defensive line, like bodies flying everywhere, pancakes everywhere. And it sounds dumb because, like, I don't think it's 100% accurate, right? These are freaking ratings on a video game. But these people are putting a lot of effort into trying to get these things right.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got me thinking, like, with the defense that was as bad as LSU's, it's going to be the first game, brand new system, and you're going against Lincoln Riley. And the quarterback in Miller Moss had a really good bowl game and brings back all the weapons from that bowl game. I wonder if I've just gotten a little too confident in expecting this USC offense to not be that good.
I mean, I sit here and I look at what they lost and what they have coming back, and it's USC, it's Lincoln Riley. Like, I didn't expect them to fall off a cliff. Now they lose their two leading rushers, their two leading pass catchers, and you're starting over a quarterback. You are losing a generational quarterback in Caleb Williams. Now Miller Moss played very well in the bowl game. I mean, it is a little bit like Garrett Nussmeier, although Nussmeier's played in more games and more moments. What he did in that SEC championship game against Georgia, like that sticks with me because of who he did it against. And so you add a Woody Marks from Mississippi State at running back. I think Lloyd's the better football player. The receivers still have to go out there and prove themselves. But, yeah, it's Lincoln Riley. It's what he does.
We'll talk more LSU, USC. Get to Blake Baker sound to open up next hour.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Buck.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Get your college football fix all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show. The king of college football brings you 2 hours of live and local college football talk throughout the year with the biggest experts from across the nation and exclusive interviews with the coaches and players you want to hear from. It's the college football talk you deserve on the Chuck Oliver Show.
Catch the king of college football, Chuck Oliver, weeknights from 6 to 8 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681, offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, August 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 97. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll continue our discussion with LSU football. We'll talk practice reports, and we'll have audio from LSU defensive coordinator Blake Baker. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 2, football season fast approaching. Talked a lot of Saints, preseason action, open up the show. Great dub for your black and gold. Derek Carr now 2-0 as a starter in 24. We love to see it. Also love to see LSU football back on the practice field. Blake Baker out there speaking. Before we get to this Baker sound, Jake, am I just being okay? Here's my problem. It feels like the last few years we keep hyping up LSU before these first games. We keep kind of decrying the opponent. We keep talking ourselves into it, and then everything falls apart. Even against Florida State last year, where I think we kind of tried to avoid that. It still was more disappointing than I would have expected it to be. And so, and this year, I know I should be smarter, but I've kind of fallen into that, just taking USC for granted, saying, look at all the bad momentum that Lincoln Riley has right now. He's out here constantly trying to dodge games. He no longer has a Heisman quarterback. in Caleb Williams. And even though, look, honestly, Miller Moss, great bowl game statistically, I still wasn't particularly impressed with like how he looked actually in the game. It was a lot of floaty, throw it up and then let my receivers make a great play sort of stuff. But granted, I don't know. Will that work in the LSU secondary? Probably will. Doesn't sound like they're having the best camp. And then I think about this USC offensive line. 2 years ago, they were awesome. Last year, they took a major step back. That's one of the reasons why the team did. This year, it's about to transfer, so it's kind of hard to know exactly what they're going to do. But like, you have one of the best college offensive minds in Lincoln Riley. You have Miller Moss and all these young receivers who he played with in the bowl game who are all back. You got a transfer line that, I mean, are they good? I don't know. But and then you got an LSU defense that was so bad the last time that we saw them. It's like, well, how good can you get here in week one? And so I've been feeling uber confident up to this point. And so maybe this is just like anything else where naturally the closer you get to an event that you're a bit nervous about, you start to feel the full breadth of emotions, right? Like, what if I go up there and I forget what I'm going to say? What if I go up there and
Sean Foster?
Yeah, and like I have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, yes. Yeah, what if I just go to Sean Foster it?
Yeah.
Like LSU could. What I'm asking you is this thing, how confident are you? Is this closer than we've maybe felt like up to this point? Or is this just the natural run up to a big event where all of you run through all of your fears?
No, I told you from the get-go, I am not fully giving myself over like I had the last couple of years. I am in wait-and-see approach. These two teams mirror each other. They have a lot of same qualities to them. They have a lot of the same deficiencies to them. They have a lot of the same question marks to them. And I think it's 2 redshirt freshmen, maybe 2 transfers. You're going to be starting on the offensive line for USC. We mentioned you bring in Woody Marks from Mississippi State. He's a back that I think he's better catching the ball than he is running the football. How are they going to utilize him? Marshawn Lloyd, somebody that I thought a lot of. He's no longer there. He's in the NFL. Zachariah Branch is the player that a lot of people talk about. Can he be that player for USC? That's going to be some of their question marks. And, of course, Miller Moss being the quarterback. The defense for USC, it's got talented guys. Anthony Lucas from A&M, Bear Alexander, who made a lot of money in the NIL space, did not live up to it a year ago. He was a player that benefited a lot like some of the players in this last spring transfer portal cycle. It was such a position of need that he became more of a necessity than he probably should have been. And so can he step up his play?
Was it the playoff game that he played well?
No, just the national championship game.
Okay, yeah, he had the one really, yeah.
I think he had a couple sacks. Everybody on Georgia's team had a couple of sacks. You look, I think it's 5 transfers. They're going to be starting on defense. So you're starting over in your defensive backfield. Corner and both safety positions are going to be transfers that you're trying to bring in. It's an unknown game because you don't know how their defense is going to react to all the changes. You don't know how your defense is going to react to all the changes. You have quarterbacks who we don't have a lot of game tape on. We have more of Garrett Nussmeier than we do Miller Moss, but the last time that we saw both these quarterbacks, they were lighting up the scoreboard. You've got talent at receiver. I mean, the thing that I think LSU has that USC absolutely does not is an offensive line. LSU's offensive line is way better right now than USC's, but still, like, I am not giving myself over to LSU just rolling the helmets out there and getting a dub in Las Vegas, because these teams, it's fascinating that they've got so many questions, but they're kind of the same questions.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. The narratives between these teams are insane in how similar they are, and even back to like the wonderful little flourishes about how basically both of these like coaches or at least Lincoln Riley and LSU used each other as smokescreens for their respective moves they made 3 years ago. So I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about. Again, feeling a little anxiety coming on.
No, I don't have. It's not really even an anxiety. It's just an unknown. Now, if you're telling me looking at the rosters, looking at the 22 there, I still think LSU has more talent. Like, to me, that's not the question. Now, that gets you so far, but when I look at LSU's offensive line talent, when I look at the receiver room, when I look at certainly the running back room, I think even with LSU having some questions to some out there, I think that you've got solid options. You have 3 solid options right now, and I don't think that their starting running back, Woody Marks, would play over your top 3 options right now. And again, Woody Marks was at media day for Mississippi State. I think he's a good pass protector. I think he catches the ball really well. But I don't know that he can be RB1 for them the entire year and be what they need to replace Marshawn Lloyd. So, I mean, look, there's questions for LSU, no doubt about it. But even defensively, talent-wise, I still think you have the edge. But again, that only gets you in the door. You've got to go make plays to make everyone not just believe you're the most talented team, but to know you're the most talented team.
Chris Kissinger says, T-Bob, you haven't been hyping up LSU all this preseason to make me nervous. Time for unapologetic optimism. Lars says, riding the fence is disappointing. I mean, honestly, I was feeling very, very good about it. And it's just lately, as I've been thinking, it's been making me a big concern. And really with LSU, I've been telling y'all this. I think it's kind of a fascinating team in that there are question marks at every spot, basically. It's just that at a lot of the spots, we like the talent that you're throwing against the wall, even if we don't exactly know who that's going to be. But, like, is there no legitimacy to the idea that, okay, well, let's say you have question marks in secondary, you have question marks on the D-line, you have question marks wide receiver, you have question marks now at tight end. Yes.
Man, one thing I am giving myself over to is the receiver room.
Yeah, so again, exactly. That would be out of all those groups. You don't know exactly who it's going to be or how they'll compare to Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas, but we think it's going to be really good, right? And that would make sense given those guys in those rooms. I've said that about the secondary a lot, like, safeties and corners. Like, I think I like safeties a bit more, but either way, I feel like you have enough guys there where you're going to be better. But the point is, if you have that many question marks, how realistic is it that everyone's going to be answered satisfactorily, right? Like, one of them's not. Somebody's going to miss. A group is going to be worse than you were hoping. So let's say you have 5 question marks, major. It's like, are 4 going to be answered positively or 3? My point is, it's a lot of ifs. And so if I'm hesitant to give myself over, it's because it's a lot of ifs and because the last 3-4 years we've done this dance where I've given myself over to all the ifs, believed they would all be answered positively, and gotten burned for it 4 times in a row. Except for last year. Never gave myself over last year, to be fair.
Well, here's the thing. Outside of the top 5 teams in the country, like preseason-wise, like you could have some of that conversation with everybody. Because there's still going to be ifs. There's not going to be knowns. Like a Michigan quarterback, that's going to be like a big if. Clemson, that's going to be an if at receiver at quarterback. Alabama, it's going to be an if at receiver. It's going to be an if in some of the positions that they've always had. DB.
I mean, they got a secondary. They got to replace. It's all 5-stars they're replacing with, but they do got to replace in a great secondary.
So I mean, I do, and I agree with you, but I think that's a conversation for every team outside of the top 5, right? And LSU's outside the top 5. They're like, when you look across the country in like the coaches poll, they're going to be a top 15. But like even like radio shows, I was listening to Dusty and Danny on the way in on Sirius XM, and they have LSU number 15. That's about where they're living, between 12 and 15. Yeah, you're going to have some questions that have not been answered yet, and it's, can you get more answered than not? And so the 2 questions that we're not going to know until Las Vegas are both, in my opinion, on the defensive side, and that's D-line and that's defensive back. Like, those are the 2 questions that we won't know until September the 1st in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And you're going to have that, like, again, we could go across the country, we could go outside the top 5, and you're going to have question marks on all those teams.
Yeah.
Which one's giving you the most anxiety right now? DB?
Okay. So this is going to sound dumb. In real life, absolutely DB. I mean, you just heard from Taylor.
Wait.
You just heard from
I know where
Taylor
we're going.
last week, right, from Saturday's practice, right? Like,
Yeah.
the DBs still look like they're getting cooked a little bit. We'll get to Blake Bakerstown next segment. You'll hear him talk about Ashton Sampson. Exactly what Brian Kelly said. They're looking for more consistency out of that position. Zion Alexander doesn't look like he's ready. And then, honestly, again, in that video game, the offensive line just whoops the front seven's ass. I mean, pancakes, like bodies flying. And as dumb as that sounds, again, it probably is dumb, right? But it's impossible not to like feel it a bit if you go play. Everybody, if you have NCAA 25, play a little LSU USC on All-American and just see what your thoughts are on the other side if I'm off base here. So in real life, yes, DBs. In video game life, fake life, the front seven.
Yeah. Not disrespecting your opinion on the video game portion of that, but I don't give a damn about the video game.
That's fine.
And I know that they've played it really well as far as the gameplay and all that stuff, because USC starting some first timers on the offensive front that I've got to go see it. And LSU's got questions too as well, but like if USC's offensive line was LSU's offensive line and you were telling me that, I probably would believe it. But I think USC's offensive line, LSU's defensive line, again, they're in the same position. They're kind of in the same boat. Like both of those units have something to prove. The LSU offensive line has already proven it. We know who they are. Now the USC defensive line is actually better than I think their offensive line is. I mean, they've got some real talent. Lucas from A&M's talented. Barry Alexander's talented.
Yeah.
They got to go out there and play better, but I think that really might be the matchup because USC's receivers are going to get some big plays in this game. They just are. That's what this offense is made to do. They've got talented players. They're going to have some big ones. But if you can't control the line of scrimmage and USC starts running the football against you, that's when you're in trouble. Because if they've got both options available to them, that is when it's going to run downhill, and that's when it's going to turn into a shootout, and that's when it's going to be what you had to do all of last year, which was outscore every opponent.
So we'll see. We'll continue to get closer. Let's hear from Blake Baker next here on Off the Bench at LSU's fifth quarter meeting with the media after practice on Saturday. He gave some very valuable insight into multiple position groups. Wait till you hear what does he have to say about Harold Perkins and what is a poodle. We'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to TrashRangersLLC.com, TrashRangersLLC.com. You go to Trash Rangers, you go to the website today and look at whether it's your personal residential needs or if it's a business, right? And you need front load dumpsters, emptied out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. They understand businesses have to be flexible, right? They understand and they're efficient, they're reliable, they can take care of you because they themselves are also a local business. You need roll-off dumpsters. They got any size for any project that you need. Go to TrashRangersLLC.com today.
Go to that website and see exactly what T-Bob is talking about now in your weekly pickup. Ascension, Livingston, those surrounding parishes. You are very lucky. You're going to get reliable weekly service, no hidden fees, weekly text reminders, which is huge. But also in the greater Baton Rouge area, roll-off dumpsters, 3 different sizes. Call them today to see which one you need. 225-363-9053.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB here on 104.5 ESPN, talking about LSU football. Before we get to the Bakerstown, do you want to play this Caleb Jackson highlight?
I think we're trying to see if we can get it formatted a little bit differently.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, the Instagram doesn't look great, though.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, well, let's play the Blake Baker sound, and then Tay-Tay will have it ready to go, I think.
Yeah, good luck. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
For sure. All right.
Alondra's over there ready, though.
So one guy that everybody's going to be watching, if you're going to be at USC, he's going to be key. He's one of the best players in the entire country, is Harold Perkins. Blake Baker surprised even me in how effusive he was talking about Harold Perkins.
He's done an unbelievable job. Harold Perkins right now is playing on fire. Again, have a lot on his plate mentally. We have packages where we're moving him all around, so he's not just playing on the inside. But he's fitting the run as well as anybody that we have at linebacker right now. I think our linebackers are doing a good job overall fitting the run, but very, very pleased with Harold and really his development. Again, you talk about from where we started this thing at the beginning of spring to where he is now, it's night and day. And he's an ascending player. I really think he's not even scratching the surface still of where he's going to be. So I look forward to, every single week him improving, but very, very happy with what he's doing right now.
Okay, so because I want to explore that a bit more, but unless you think that that's just lip service, okay, I want his answer on Jacoby and Guillory here. This is Baker 6.
Yeah, I think Jacoby and I have a really, really good relationship. Again, he's a guy, and usually this is the case with older guys. They you can kind of be a little more loose with them because they know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. So I would say we probably have a pretty playful relationship, but when it's time to go to work, he knows when it's time to go to work. The thing that really, going back to what I just said about him, the thing that separates him is, one, his strength. He's got a low center of gravity, really, really good lower and upper body strength, but then also block recognition. So that just comes from experience. But those are probably the two things that separates him for the rest of our guys right now.
So again, I mean, a fine answer, right? But now with that, all right. Actually, let's do Ashton Stamps next. This is Baker 7.
Ashton's worked his tail off to get where he's at. He's a guy that, if I was up here in the summer doing whatever, every time I go to the indoor, he was on the jug machine, or he was working on the bands, or he was working his footwork. So credit to what he's been able to do. He's still a young player, and I challenge him every day. I'm looking for more consistency out of Ashton. He has stepped his game up, but he's not where we need him to be overall, and that's not a knock. But we got 2 more weeks to get him to be what he is capable of being, from a mental consistency standpoint.
So again, 3 positive answers.
Yeah.
Right? One and all. But you can see the different levels of positivity. And so now that you understand that it's not just lip service, give me Harold Perkins one more time and we'll pick it apart.
He's done an unbelievable job. Harold Perkins right now is playing on fire.
You can hear it in his voice.
Again, have a lot on his plate mentally. We have packages where we're moving them all around, so he's not just playing on the inside. But he's fitting the run as well as anybody that we have at linebacker right now. I think our linebackers are doing a good job overall fitting the run, but very, very pleased with Harold and really his development. Again, you talk about from where we started this thing at the beginning of spring to where he is now, it's night and day. And he's an ascending player. I really think he's not even scratching the surface still of where he's going to be. So I look forward to every single week him improving, but very, very happy with what he's doing right now.
You can just feel the extra energy in his voice when he's talking about Perkins. Like, start up the Percules hype train. I have no problem giving myself over to him. It sounds like he's adapting well linebacker, but more so than that, it sounds like he's adapting well to being that mismatch player that Blake Baker's going to move around and try to manipulate matchups for it so that they can take advantage of those 1v1s.
Taylor, let me know when you have the Perkins play ready to go. I sent another one as well. That's what I'm saying, because I want to show, and we can even come back to it, but I want to show our listeners what Perk can do from multiple places, because a lot of people just say, put him on the edge, put him on the edge. I'm not necessarily worried about where he lines up. I just want him to be disruptive.
Yeah.
And he can be disruptive from a stack linebacker position. He doesn't have to play on his heels. He doesn't have to line up at nickel and play in coverage. Like, he can do all these different things, but just trust me when I say, like, as a running back, sure, when you come off the edge like a bat out of hell, it is tough. And we've seen him make those plays, but you can scheme for that. If you know every time he's on there that's what he's doing, okay, well, it basically becomes punt coverage, and I'm just going to make sure you don't beat me inside. I'm going to keep my outside hand free, and I'm just going to wash you all the way up. Even if you are a speed rusher, I can get one hand on one shoulder and rush you up the field. Now, he can win some reps as well, but I was terrified when a Mike linebacker was somebody that could shoot gaps.
Yeah.
As you see here, we're playing it if you're watching this on YouTube. Like, this is a position where you can shoot a gap in the run game. You can pressure through the A gap, right? When you're rushing, like, it can be from depth. It doesn't have to be, hey, I'm going to line up in the A gap, allow the center to adjust it, because Harold Perkins is such a dynamic rusher that if he walks up into the A gap, every time the center is going to say, that's my guy. I'm going to send the other guy to the running back, but I'm taking Harold Perkins, okay? Now, Perk's still going to win those matchups because he's more athletic. But if Harold Perkins, as you see in that clip, if he starts coming from depth like that, it puts the running back in a bind, because he's got a three-way go. He can go to my left, my right, or through me. And there's not a running back in this country that one-on-one wants to block Harold Perkins. No. So when I say don't just get enamored with him lining up on the edge, he can be disruptive. He has to be disruptive. Like when he lined up at Stack Backer last year, they didn't do any of that.
No.
He was on his heels because they wanted him in coverage.
Just trying to read.
You can still do the things that he needs to get done and affect the game like he did his freshman year from that position, but you have to call it. You have to trust him to get that done because, again, if you end up Harold Perkins on a running back or a tight end coming from depth like that with a 5-yard head start on you, you're in trouble. And that's the kind of play that he'll make all season long. And it sounds like we're going to see him line up at that position. He's going to line up on the edge. He will at times probably plug in a little A-gap mug with somebody else, but as long as he's disruptive, it can come from so many different places.
I mean, and again, even last year, he was really good in what they asked him to do. He just got funneled to a position that it's tough to be the most disruptive at. And again, he still put up better stats than 95% of players in the country, but any TFL or anything he came up with was almost like immediately erased a play later. So, yeah, give yourself over fully to Harold Perkins this year. He is going to be dominant. I fully believe that. And remember, he can handle this mentally. The moving around, the different responsibilities. He's got like a 3.6 GPA or something, Brian Kelly told us. Like, he can handle the mental workload as well. And he's got the physical tools, and he's bigger, stronger, and faster than he's ever been. Harold Perkins is going to dominate this year.
Hey, Taylor, play that clip one more time. And his speed is what makes a play here as well. Like, there's just not a lot of people built like him that play that position because you're wondering, well, how do you have such a free run? Because the center is supposed to be working, right? He's supposed to be working with the guard. So he's going to that 2-eye. He's giving him hand presence, help the guard with his block because there's no way that linebacker is going, who I'm responsible for, is going to be able to make that play. But the problem is Harold Perkins is so fast that DJ Chester can't get back. And so on his play card, it's help the guard to the linebacker, right? And if he's coming from depth like that, there's no way that DJ Chester at center, and T, you can speak on this better than I can predetermine that Perk's going to do this, right?
No, he should have. I mean, if you're DJ Chester there, you just can't get that left hand involved. If you're just you kind of help stay unengaged with that inside hand, and you help the guard, you push him over, and then you just got to be ready to come back there because as soon as he commits his left hand to the combo block, Perk, it's like when a DB turns their hips the wrong way and the quarterback knows he's cooked because now they can throw it behind him. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. But to Jake's point. that doesn't work with most linebackers wouldn't be fast enough to take advantage and pull it off, but Harold Perkins is.
Are we going to break?
Yeah, let's go to break.
Okay.
Then when we get back, we'll do the we'll get into a little Caleb Jackson and some more Blake Baker sound. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to oakparkevents.com. Oak Park Events. That's PARC. And fellas, listen up. Let's say you just got engaged. Huge congrats, okay? That's awesome. Take it from somebody who's been married for a very long time. I'm going to give you one easy play that will make sure that you're good for the entire engagement, okay? Some major brownie points here. You tell your wife, your fiance, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I've been thinking, like, I got a couple places we could maybe think about going to visit, and that's Oak Lodge and Park 73. Different vibes for both. Oak Lodge, very New Orleans, beautiful brass and wooden bar. It's incredible. Park 73, a bit more of your wide open, naturey sort of space. But really what we're talking about here, guys, is showing that you care, you're sincere, you're here, you're involved, okay? All your wedding needs, turnkey service, oakparkevents.com. Go book your consult today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope.
Yeah! What's going on? Yo, what's happening? Welcome back to Off the Bench. Roll right along here. All right, let's start with the Caleb Jackson run. I keep hearing about this thing. I see everybody tweeting about it, Instagramming it. I have not seen it yet.
They might be talking about the pass that he caught where he ran over Whit Weeks. That play's great. I know Caleb can do that. We saw that against Mississippi State last year.
Yep.
I know he can do that. And so I want to play another clip that we should be talking more about this clip. The other one was great. Get you hyped as a 7-yard gain. Him catching the football, which is important. But this play right here, T, I want you tell me in this play what you notice.
Oh, that's Powerball. Is that we go back? I know it. It's Will Campbell wearing 7.
No, and it's not power either. Go back to the beginning. That's counter, Bo.
It's counter, yeah, because both guys are pulling. Yeah, and Will Campbell. Wait, so Will Campbell actually does wear 7 during practice? Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I saw gap scheme run.
Look at that thing. Look at that thing come together so beautifully, dude.
It was so counter. Like he does just like let it play on a loop. That is what LSU football can get to
Guard
that they
out,
did not have
up.
last year. That if you drew up counter on a whiteboard, that is exactly where it would hit. That's exactly how it would play out. It hits right there in the B gap. You've got 2 athletic offensive linemen, the strength of your team, pulling on counter. You've got a stud running back that's not trying to do too much. He hits his landmark, and then he makes one guy miss, and he's off to the races.
Love how pumped up he gets, too, after the touchdown, throwing the ball into the wall. You can tell, I mean, they out here playing hard. They give a damn.
I mean, a great
Good
job.
Cut once you got to the second level, too.
I mean, a nice job really by both guards. I mean, Miles Frazier making that wall right there. That's the wall that you have to make if you're, to the counter, but you're coming backside, like you have to make that, and that's what he did. LSU didn't have to do this last year. They didn't have to. They had a unicorn. They had a cheat code at quarterback, right, who ran for over 1,000 yards. They ran inside zone last year. Now, they ran some counter, but if they can get to specializing in counter and power and inside zone and outside zone and keeping the defense guessing when you're running the football, that is going to open up something that you didn't have last year. Again, you didn't need it. But when I see a play like that, and I see an All-American in Will Campbell pulling, I see Dellinger, who started so many games pulling and knowing exactly what he's doing. I see a Miles Frazier who started so many games walling off a counter to allow the running back to hit it right there in the B gap where it's supposed to. Jackson breaks a tackle right there. You're not going to get him on his hip. Makes one guy miss. He's off to the races, man. That's a hell of a football play.
I don't even think that did Will even have to do anything there?
No, I mean, not really.
No, just let Jackson hide behind you, because the defense loses sight of him behind Campbell, and then a great read by Caleb Jackson to stay in the pocket, and then when he hit it, freaking hit it, and then hit the one next level cut you got to make the score. Great play there.
Yeah. So
Beautiful stuff.
the hit over the weekend on the sideline, man, that's great. I know Caleb Jackson can do that. He can do it to almost anybody in the country. He's going to do it a ton. But if you're an LSU football fan, if you watch a clip and get excited about Caleb Jackson, it should be this play more than any, because, again, this is clinic tape on how to run counter. Everyone is doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And I can't say it enough. Like, the job that every single portion of this counter run is doing is how you would draw it up.
It's a thing of beauty when a great gap scheme run play comes together, because it's like it looks like chaos, but then it's like Moses parting the Red Sea as it all coalesces into a beautiful, cohesive picture. All right, let's get back to some of this Blake Baker sound. We played you Perkins, played you Guillory. Let's go. Okay, here's his thoughts on tackling. I found these to be pretty interesting. This is Baker 10, executing live tackling in an era where it's kind of harder and harder to do practice-wise.
So today was our second day of live tackling. Honestly, in today's game, I would say most places I've been, the most you probably get is 4. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so important when we do thud or even when we do tag. To me, tackling it's as much about the approach. It's much about the angle. It's as much about knowing where your help is coming from as it is getting the guy on the ground. As crazy as that sounds, we drill it all the time with tackling circuit. They're getting drill work from that standpoint as far as getting, bags or donuts or whatever the case may be on the ground. To me, you really, really have to press upon the importance of the angles of where your help's coming from, of your approach if you're coming from the back end. So, from a philosophical standpoint, that's just the way the game is now. So you got to be really, really sharp, and you got to coach it hard. It's easy we did our job in 7-on-7, but we didn't have a good angle, or we weren't in a good bent position, whenever we were able to tag off. Those are the things you really have to harp on to be a really good tackling team. And I think we are. I think we're making progress from that standpoint.
So I actually think that's a pretty good clip for young football players to hear, regardless of position, because angles and understanding where a play is going and what that means. Like, even on offensive line, if you're working to the second level, I mean, it sounds very basic, right? But it is what separates some good young football players from others is don't run to the guy, run where the guy is going to be. And so, I found it interesting that in a day and age where you can't really tackle that often, Baker's right. The approach is everything. You set yourself up. And if you're in better position, well, obviously, it's going to be easier to make the tackle. You're not going to be arm tackling as much. You're not going to be diving from weird angles. So if you're a young football player out there, just be very cognizant about that. Run to where they're going to be.
How much does it look different than it did a year ago when you see the video where Nuss is just throwing it away and Baker's on the sideline and my man just catches it, tucks it, acts like he's going to take it back, and the entire defense goes crazy? It seems maybe like a small thing. And look, Matt House knows how to coach football. He does. He wouldn't be, at the jobs that he was. He wouldn't be immediately back in the NFL if he didn't. But we all know there was a major, major disconnect in personality and communication. There's no disconnect with Blake Baker. My man, and Alondra said it best, when somebody wears a sleeveless hoodie and cleats to practice, I'm going to believe in that guy. He's ready to go, okay? And I trust that. I trusted already just knowing Blake like we do, but also like seeing a video like that and seeing the defense like celebrate and he's excited. I mean, there's a different relationship there than there has been. And I'm not just talking about Blake. I'm talking about really on every level where they brought a coach in. You can tell that was a point of emphasis. Now, Is it going to translate to less MAs? You would think so. Is it going to translate to less missed tackles? You would think so, but they still got to go out there and prove it. But I'm just talking about the dynamic of the defensive coaching staff compared to where it was and the relationship with the players to where it was. That part of it seems like they've got it figured out.
Well, and one thing, speaking of relationships, Blake Baker, one thing that he prides himself on is being a communicator, being able to customize his message to how a player best learns and avoid paralysis by analysis.
I think our scheme is very user-friendly, very player-friendly. You know, we really do work hard. Sometimes, you know, it takes some time, but we do a really good job, I think, as a staff, compartmentalizing things, putting things in buckets, trying to give them some word association so it's clicking with them pretty quickly. And I think our guys are playing really fast, sometimes too fast, and that's sometimes part of our inconsistency right now. But in all honesty, you know, that's okay. Sometimes, you know, you'd rather have to pull the chain back than have to kick them on the booty on the way out the door. So we just got to slow them down in some instances. But I think our kids are playing fast again. I think it really has to do with the way we implement the scheme. And then I think we got really good, you know, teachers, as you know, when you look at our coaching staff.
I mean, look, on defense especially, that's so critical. You cannot overthink things defensively. The second you start committing too many of your resources to the mental side of the game defensively, you lose a step. And if you lose a step, you lose the game. Or you lose the rep. Like, that's all it takes. You have to be able to go play fast and free and because, like, generally defensive guys are going to be the more natural athletes. So how do you let that natural athleticism take over? By freeing yourself of having to think too much. See ball, get ball, right? That's why we always make jokes about defensive players being dumb, because you know, that's because they are. So make it dumb and let them shine. And it seems like Blake Baker's doing a very good job of that.
So the defensive staff mixture of personalities, as we're sitting here talking about it, you got all over the place. Like, we know Bo Diddley. Bo Davis is different than Blake Baker. Corey Raymond's different than both of those guys. And so I think the staff did a nice job of identifying that, because it can't be. And no, look, Blake will get after your ass if he needs to. Like, I've seen that as well. But, like, there's so many different personalities that feel like they go together, but not going to allow you to become one thing or the other.
Yeah,
because
they complement each other.
Yes, there can be too much of one. We all know that. There's that great video of the 2003 LSU coaching staff where it's just like Muschamp and Saban and
trying
Jimbo
to
and like
aneurysm each other.
Yes. Like, sometimes that works, but I think it's a great mixture of what you need. And so, you know, this defense is not going to look the same as it did a year ago. I think we all know that, but like, to what level can they improve is going to be the question.
All right, when we get back, we'll finally learn from Blake Baker what a poodle is and why we don't want him. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, GEAUXTommys.com. GEAUXTommys.com is the website. You go to Tommy's today for any hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any sort of door. And remember, these are upgrades to your home that are energy efficient, that will help save you money, so they end up paying for themselves. They have high integrity. They're very dependable, professional. They're efficient. And all of these are why Tommy's has won the Angie Service Award every year they've been in business. And, well, Tommy's been in this business for damn near 28 years now, Bo. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. 3 decades of experience put to your advantage. Make them one of the bids on your next project. GoTommys.com.
Yeah, when you go to that website, remember, you can check out everything that they've done here in this area, but don't allow it to be the only thing, because they can customize your project as well. Have them come out to the house, tell you exactly what they can do for you at GoTommys.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hanging out with you here on a Monday morning, August 12th, 20 days away from LSU USC in Vegas. In 20 days, I'll be doing this show probably extremely hungover from whiskey and wine the night before. Who knows? Maybe just no sleep at all. We'll see how in the hell that's going to end up working. But I keep teasing this poodle idea. Blake Baker says no poodles on the defense, okay? Well, Coach Baker, what exactly constitutes a poodle?
And then poodles, that's lack of physicality or trying to show up your teammate. You know, if a big thing to me is body language. You know, if a guy gets beat deep and he puts his palms up, that's a poodle. You know, if we turn down a hit, that's a poodle. So we don't want poodles.
That's right. Sounds a lot like we don't want tailors. I agree, Coach. No, look, Jake, the body language portion of that, I agree with 1,000%. I feel like a lot of great coaches try to enact rule systems where you're very cognizant of body language, yes. Right? I know you've talked a lot about fines y'all used to have in some of your NFL locker rooms. I've been a part of rooms where if you clapped, that was a fine, like a dang it, like after a play.
A hand clap was $100 a hand clap.
Yeah. Of course.
Jay Cutler would have been broke if he had been in some of the systems that I was in with his bad body language.
I mean, looking, like he said, kind of looking at your teammate, like, what are you doing? Like, no, none of that, dude. No. We got to present a united front here. And it's funny how, even though it sounds like, well, what does that matter? It actually does. It's almost a bit like the fake it till you make it theory, where when you avoid showing that like kind of dissension amongst the ranks, you stay on the same page. You avoid looking, getting down on yourself because maybe you just got beat or something. Like, it does actually have discernible benefits.
I am all for getting rid of bad body language. It's a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand when you put your palms up. I can't stand when you hit your chest. Like, my bad. Yeah, no, you know what? It's your bad. I mean, we all I don't want it. Like, I don't want any of that. Like, just let's get back to the huddle. Let's figure it out. Let's have better body language than we had the year before. And I love hearing that. No poodles. I don't know what he has against poodles, but no poodles.
Well, I mean,
I don't really know. I never had a poodle.
I guess I have no real animus towards poodles. But they do seem like one of the softer dogs. I actually really like golden doodles. Those
Abo
things
said
are
in the
adorable.
chat, I have a teacup poodle, and it's dumb. I concur.
Yeah, see, there you go. No poodles. Okay, anything else here from Coach that I think is worth talking about? We mentioned Alexander Still's coming back from the ACL injury. Here's Baker 9 on what he thinks the identity of this LSU defense will be.
Or what we are right now. Right now, I'll be honest, we're inconsistent. What I want it to be, if we do our job, I think we got a chance to be pretty good. I really do. I think we have all the pieces in place to have a good defense. What I want to see is a little more player-led accountability, and guys just doing their job on a consistent basis. If we do that, we can have a good year. We're not there yet, but I think we have really good speed. I think we're physical. We're still improving as a tackling unit right now, but we have shown improvement from the spring. I think our guys really work hard at it. You don't have a lot of opportunities to tackle live throughout fall camp, but we work hard on it, through drill work and whatnot. But I think we have a chance to be pretty good. We just got to be more consistent.
Consistency seemed to be a theme. You heard him talk about with Ashton Stamps as well. And it's funny to hear words like player-led accountability. That's the exact same kind of core themes of Brian Kelly's process and building it. As far as an identity goes, you don't have an identity because you don't fully know exactly what this defense is going to be yet. So that's something that will come with more time. So, look, I thought Blake Baker was fantastic. I'm excited to see the strides that this defense takes. And I think it's fascinating that the first test is going to be against Lincoln Riley and USC. Now, you avoid a Heisman quarterback like Lincoln seems to have more often than not. But, man, you want to talk about you ain't get no chance to kind of warm up here or figure out exactly what you have. You are being thrown immediately into the deep end. But, hey, that's why you came to LSU in the first place.
Yeah, no preseason game, no directional school game, no FCS game to kind of go out there and get it figured out. And you are going to have to make sure from the get-go that you're ready to go. You're going to face one of the best offensive coordinators in all of college football. Like, for the deficiencies that Lincoln has with defense and who runs his defense, and we'll see if they got that figured out, there's no denying what he is as a play caller.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the best in the country.
And let's be clear, they're probably in L.A. local morning radio shows. If they're talking about UCLA, which I'm sure some are, maybe, they are putting the exact same hopes into D'Anton Lynn that we are in Blake Baker, right? Finally, Alex Grinch gone. D'Anton Lynn, look at UCLA, like, they were powered by their defense last year. Like, it's going to be a completely new USC defense. So both of us are saying the same thing. One of us is a liar. We're going to figure out who here in 20 more days. And I can't wait. All right, hour 2 is in the books. Coming up next, let's start with a little weekend winners. So we got a guy, hold the mayo. Keep it locked right here off the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Buck.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Make a deal, we'll pay your trade-off regardless of what you owe. Shop BuyUFord.com or visit us just off I-10 in La Plaza. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you. $10,000 dealer discount, $2,000 retail customer cash. Stock number F4197.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Tyler Juneau. In New Roads, call Dean Martin. And in Gonzales, call Gene Fremo.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Monday, August 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 97. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have some weekend winners at 9 a.m. Then Devin Snow hops on at 9:15, and we'll close things out with Ask the Bench. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on? I just opened up chat for about the first time in an hour. And, okay, it seems like it's a little weird today. A little aggressive day. Everybody, a lot of yelling
crazy
going on at each other today. YouTube.com/1045ESPN. You want to check it out for yourself. Or if you want to watch the show, you can also watch it on WBTR, Channel 19 on TV. Again, guys, don't forget, the Saints-Cardinals played over the weekend. Saints getting the big dub. Derek Carr now 2-0 in 2024. Like I said, lunch pail game from Derek Carr. Didn't want to show too much. Clint Kubiak keeping all the good plays secret. Okay, smart strategy by your New Orleans Saints. Don't bail, guys. Don't bail. Don't bail.
I knew you were gonna come up with some narrative.
I'm not coming. It's not a narrative. Those are facts.
No, they're not.
Yeah, all the beat reporters said it's not nearly the creative offense they've been seeing in practice, dude. He's keeping the good play secret. Why would I show them against Arizona?
Why did the other quarterbacks, though, in the same offense without the creative plays have a better day than Derek Carr?
Because they're going against the 2s and 3s.
They're 2s and 3s. Duh.
Yeah, exactly. Look,
it's like we always talk about with Kalen DeBoer. Like, oh, but he did that in NAIA. Yeah, he also had, guess what, NAIA players.
I agree.
So the 2s were going against 2s, the 3s were going against 3s, and they had more success.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all facts. But guess what? Them 2s and 3s ain't going to be playing on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? The 1s will, okay? Just trust, guys. Just trust. Lunch pail day from Derek Carr. 2 yards per attempt, feed me. You know, nowhere to go but up. It's just that's brick by brick. We're building this thing. Let's dive in to a little weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Win the whole thing.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot y'all liked winning. Okay? Who dat? We'll talk more Saints with Holden Mayo coming up next. I'm sure he agrees with me on all these Derek Carr takes. Spoiler alert, no, I'm lying. Steph Curry, my first weekend winner, and the UN's men's national team, because how could it not be? One of the most fun sporting memories I've had in recent memory was having that game on my phone, cooking a pastelaya in the backyard. Life is good. I don't want to say there was a scoonch of fall in the air, because there wasn't. But when the clouds covered the sun this weekend, it actually felt pretty good. And I had one moment as I'm watching Steph nail 4 threes in a row to beat France and get his gold medal in his only opportunity with the clouds covering, pastelaya smelling good. It was one of those happy moments. And it goes back to what we said the other day, guys. Like, that's one of the reasons why the Olympics has been so much fun is you get to cheer for players that you're used to hating, that you're used to suffering at the hands of. And so instead of being the guy on the receiving end of those Steph Curry daggers, it felt so empowering to have him fighting for your same cause. And the one to win the game, the last 3 to put him to sleep, was just vintage, unanimous MVP Curry. The handles, 2 people on him, over Batum, just fantastic stuff, dude. Goosebump City.
Yeah, it was great to see them go out there and get gold. And, yeah, I agree with you. It was fun to actually root for Curry because, as we know, when the basketball season starts in the NBA, that probably goes away.
I mean, they had one play where LeBron has this crazy – Steph Curry's cutting baseline. LeBron has this wild feed to him. Like, don't know how he found the angle. Curry then kicks it out to Durant, who hits a 3. And I was like, wow, I'm really cheering for a basketball team where I can watch LeBron to Steph to Durant. And it's kind of like, you know, in a lot of ways, it's kind of a bit of a bow on that era of basketball, right? I mean, those guys are still relevant, but they're definitely getting up there.
No more Olympics.
No
probably.
more. Yeah, no. I don't think so. No, I mean, Steph was very upfront. This was going to be his first and only.
Yeah.
And he refused to be denied. Side winner, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
He posted a picture of him with a gold medal. Said, when you don't do anything on the group project, but you still get an A. I love that.
Did you see him pulling up to the club, though?
No.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to try to find this video real fast and put it in the doc. He pulled up to the club, and it was like a clown car of women just...
No.
Yes.
No.
Hold on. I'm going to find it real fast.
Hallie living his best life. He's young. He's a budding superstar. No pressure in Paris. Just, oh, man. Knows he's got more. It's
literally like they just keep coming out.
Wow.
1, 2.
Wait. Hallie's the only
dude that came up.
Him and like
3.
the guy's like his handler, I guess, or whatever.
But there's not like Anthony Edwards or anybody else in that car?
I think Ant was in there.
Okay. So this is Ty and Ant. That sounds about right.
There's that guy and then Halliburton.
Let's
With the
go.
medal, by the way.
Yeah.
With the gold medal and the USA starter jacket on. Hell yeah. Go Hallie. Go USA. Congrats on the gold.
All right, so my first weekend winner, as y'all know, I say 3-1 great a lot. I'm very proud of my hometown, Shreveport, and my hometown needed a little jolt. It needed some good news. And back in April, 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, bought the movie studio that was there when they were making a ton of movies in Shreveport, G Unit Studios. So they had 2 studios. And so, like, he bought it, which was great because, you know, it brings more opportunities, more jobs to my hometown. But he did something this last weekend, the Humor and Harmony event. And they had Dave Chappelle, Matt
in Shreveport?
Yes, listen. They had this concert at the Municipal Auditorium. Matt Rife, Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, all just show up in Shreveport for 50 Cent. And it was a part of a long weekend. They had a celebrity basketball game. They had this comedy event. I mean, Dave Chappelle just shows up. Like, they didn't even promote it because they're like, they want it to be like this big surprise. And again, like kind of like the who's who of comedy, like in different eras. And so they do that one night. And then if you'll pull up this picture, Taylor, 50 Cent created the G Dome in downtown Shreveport.
We have our own sphere in Shreveport now?
So he built this in a short period of time. It's right across from Sam's Town, the casino there. And look, some people are like, oh, you try to be Vegas. This is the Temu version. No, you're just hating. Like, this is something that
is
from
hating.
my hometown.
Tree unit. Get it?
All right. I was just trying to like wax poetic about my hometown.
Dude, I agree. This is freaking awesome. Are you kidding me? Let's go. He's breathing life back into the city. Vinny got so rich that he legitimately was like, I'm going to remake a city in my image.
Well,
and now he's kicking ass.
My point was, like, the people in Shreveport that are saying that, like, what in the hell else is going on there? Like, he's trying to bring something. He has no tie. I think he's from, like, Connecticut. Or wherever he's from. I don't know where he's from. He has no ties to Shreveport, but he's come to Shreveport, bought a movie studio, brings events like this to Shreveport. They sure weren't going on before, not with 3 headliners like that at a comedy show, a celebrity basketball game that was sold out, concerts that were sold out, an after party that was sold out. So
was
shout out to 50 Cent.
Yeah,
was the
awesome.
Performance in the Shreve sphere?
The comedy thing was at the Municipal Auditorium where like Elvis has played and Johnny Cash, and it's like it's historic. I mean,
is this a venue though? The Dome?
I know he built it. They built it for like this event.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah, dude. That is sick. That's badass, dude.
So I mean, people hate. I'm like, that looks kind of awesome. Is it the one in Vegas? No, but it looks really cool.
He should start B Unit Studios and it'd be in Bossier. And then just complete the takeover.
We don't talk about, but like if you're from Shreveport, you're from Shreveport.
Oh, really?
You're from Bossier, you're from Bossier.
There's no
and when people say it's the same thing, I tell them this: is Tiger Stadium in Port Allen? There's a river that separates them.
Yeah, I agree. I thought maybe, and look, West Monroe's the same deal. I know. I just thought sometimes in those relationships, it's like, you know, we could talk crap about each other, but if you come after one of us, then we got the others back. So not the case. So you and Jared Leto, as Devin would say, y'all would like be y'all would be on site.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's a difference.
Yeah,
like when
for
people
sure.
are like, no, Shreveport Bossier, I'm like, yeah, but there's this thing called the Red River that separates them.
Well, shout out Fiddy. I think that's awesome, man. And that's awesome for anybody who got to go and see freaking Dave Chappelle this weekend.
I know. I wish we could play some of the stand-up that he had. I mean, those weren't the only 3, by the way. Like, if we named off like the people that were there, I think y'all would know most of them. I mean, they're headliners, and I wish we could play some of it, but there wasn't a third word that didn't have a cuss word in it. But you can imagine.
Guys,
that's awesome.
Winners?
Yeah, weekend loser, Derek Carr. I'm just kidding. That's not
No,
what I was gonna do. But wait, real quick, shout out.
Why they won the game?
Shout out. No thanks to him.
They won the game.
No thanks to him.
2 of 6.
12
yards.
Quick, I wanted to do this in the first segment when you asked about like our weekends and stuff, but then I got like cut off. Shout out to our guy Club. His real name's Andrew, I think, but they call him Club because he used to drive a Ford Club wagon like in high school or something like that.
Okay.
Says I met him at the Texas Club Friday night.
Club at the club.
Club at the club, and he says he listens to OTB every single morning at work and that we get him through his work day. So shout out Club. He was super hyped to see me and stuff. So
it's very
yeah,
kind.
shout out. Yeah.
Shout out club, dude. I hope you had a good time at the Texas Club.
Yeah.
As well.
I hope so.
And thank you to all the homies who come up and say nice things to us publicly. It does mean a lot. It's very
much
validating because this is a weird job where sometimes it can feel like you're just speaking into the ether.
Yeah. But weekend winner, Alex Bregman. Also, the Houston Astros, they swept the Red Sox this weekend. Bregman had a 3-run home run in the 5th inning last night. Yordan Alvarez followed with his 3rd homer in 2 games. So shout out Astros. Like
Gulf
I said,
Sal
hot
says,
at the right time.
Jake, so you're telling me Bossier Shreveport has its own Red River rivalry?
Exactly.
Hell
Gulf
yeah,
Sal.
dude. The
I
triple
love
R.
that. Let's go. Shreveport versus Bossier. Now, our listeners up in Bossier and 1130 Tiger, we love you.
Damn, what the
I'm just
hell,
saying
dude?
there's a difference.
I got
There is a
respect for y'all.
difference.
BC, baby.
Just like when people meet me, they always say West Monroe, right? And I'm like, no, Evangel. Like, close. I'm like, no, there's actually an hour and a half drive from Shreveport to West Monroe.
We may be the same age, but we're not the same school, guys. Okay? Doesn't West Monroe hold guys back as well?
Ass too.
Duh. Went to Greater Atlanta Christian School. We had like Taylor starting at left tackle. Taylor, what you got? Weekend winners.
Weekend winner for me for starting at left tackle, apparently. Weekend winner for me is Quincy Wilson. No, not the guy that threw the shoe to get LSU the win.
Quincy Wiggins.
That's Marco.
It's Marco Wilson,
Yeah,
He's got a
Quincy
brother.
Wiggins is another player.
Quincy Wilson, 16-year-old on the U.S. track team, has won a gold medal now. Now, he didn't get to run in the 4x4 final. He did run in the qualifying heat to get them into the final, though. And he posted a picture on his social media.
16 with an Olympic
and I didn't even think about this. He posted this picture and said, damn, I got school in a week. I just remembered that. Fall's going to suck. And I'm like, imagine going back to your junior year of high school with an Olympic gold medal. So weekend winner is Quincy Wilson.
So does he already have like the Louisiana State records? Like, how's this work? Like, can he still compete in like high school track and field?
So I believe he can. He's from Chesapeake, Virginia, is his hometown. So he does have the under 18.
For some reason I was thinking he's from Louisiana.
No, he has the under 18 national record, though, in the 400
Okay.
meters, so.
God, that's crazy, bruh. Shout out. Weekend winner, breakdancing memes. Our girl Rachel Gunn, a.k.a. Ray Gunn, gave the entire internet just a ton of good jokes and memes over the weekend, although she might have sunk breakdancing as an Olympic event.
Mm-hmm. For real, though.
Definitely did.
For real, though. Like, you saw her routine, then you were like, okay, actually, what are we doing here? All of it didn't really work, to be fair. I tried to enter with a very positive attitude. I did not find it to be particularly, it didn't feel like it should be there, but whatever. If nothing else, though, this is like a so bad it's good situation in that, yes, is Reagan getting clowned? Absolutely. But she's going to end up making a ton of money from all this. Now she's got a little bit of that Hawk to a viral juice to her. Like, if she wants to, she can benefit all this. And I will say this. Again, I went back and if you Google around, you can find Reddit threads and other things with like the entire performances. It's kind of hard to find because NBC, copyright. But it's worth watching all three of her entire routines. It is so funny. It is so crazy that she could get up there on that stage and feel so confident do these things. And could we all carry ourselves forward with the confidence of our girl Ray Gunn, Australian B-girl extraordinaire? Didn't take a single round either, by the way. Got 9-0'd in every single one. I will say this. So nobody in here ever seen We Could Be Heroes, right? Or like Angry Boys or Summer High Tie.
We Could Be Heroes, the Foo Fighters song?
No. Old Chris Lilly, very funny Australian comedian. She felt like a Chris Lilly character, which I really enjoyed. Shout out Ray Gunn. Weekend winner for me.
All right, so weekend winner for me, not to get too deep, but I'm sitting here and I'm watching the preseason, and I'm watching it with my son, and we're just talking about how many players play in the preseason and the opportunity to play, and start thinking about T-Bob having his preseason and what that means to him. I started thinking about my father-in-law, like he played a year for the Bears and like what that means to him, and it just kind of hit me like the opportunity you have there, even if you don't make a roster, even if you don't play a year, like it means something to be in those games. And so like I forget which game we were watching, but the commentators were kind of laughing and talking about basically, oh, this guy won't be there. I'm like, sure, like you want to be funny, but like that moment for those players, it means something. It means something to every single person there, because even if, again, you don't make it, you can always say, man, I put on an NFL uniform on an NFL field and I went against other NFL players. And I love watching the preseason. I love watching people compete. I love seeing that one guy that nobody had, not one person had, making the 53 whenever OTA started, and then you see him game by game, practice by practice, go out there, make a play, get the confidence of his teammates. And you always see it. If you watch a preseason game close enough, you'll see a certain player make a play on offense and defense, and you can tell by the reaction of the sidelines, right, that he is the guy in camp that everybody's rooting for.
Yeah, they want him to make the team.
They have seen him work hard. They have seen him make play after play. They don't care that he was an undrafted free agent rookie. They don't give a damn about any of that. They're rooting for that player to make the play, and did a deep dive into like 5 different preseason games this weekend, and it just was something I was like, man, I don't care if these guys ever make it. What a great opportunity for them. I started thinking, man, if my son got a chance to go out there and put on an NFL uniform one time, what that would mean.
It'd be very cool to experience that from the father side of the equation, certainly. I agree with you. Any other winners back there, guys?
Real quick, the U.S. women's national team won the gold medal. So shout out to the women's soccer team, the U.S. women's soccer team.
And I thought you were talking basketball.
No, well, both.
They did too. Yeah,
both. But the U.S. women's team, man, you get a new coach. You're not sure how it's going to work. There's other teams that were starting to catch up to you a little bit because you had dominated for so long. It had been a minute since you won Olympic gold, and you were told like you couldn't do it anymore. You weren't going to be the same team, and then you win all of these games 1-0, and you play such solid defense, and you strike. And Mallory Swanson, who scored the goal, like what a moment that was. It was a lot of fun to watch.
And I think Dansby hit his 1,000th career hit.
I didn't know that. Was very cool.
She hit the game-winning goal.
What a power couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out U.S. women's basketball team getting gold, beating France. Sorry, nerds. Freaking losers.
Just went to Paris and...
Yeah, just took their lunch.
Yeah. Like you did that kid.
Taylor, anything else? No, I asked him for it.
We don't have time for it. We can maybe get it back at the end of the...
we got time. It's our show.
All right, good. Good job. Proud of you. Good job. All right, when we get back, let's go to our guy, Hold the Mayo, here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Some of you may have felt like you got violated by a car over the weekend. Well, if that's the case, you call Gordon today and he'll stand up for you. Now, if you go to getgordon.com, you can see the plethora of cases that they cover. I don't know if preseason football's in there, but you might as well call them. Or go online and fill out a free consult and let them show you what they can do. You can also see past results from satisfied customers. And remember, well, Jake, tell them about Gordon real quick. I gotta look some up.
Go to getgordon.com. That is where you can really do it all. You can ask a question right there on the website. You can see past client results. You can see what they could do for you in the courtroom. Always on social media. @GetGordon is going to be that handle. Remember, it is your area code as well in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. That is Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ryan Smith says Weekend Loser, Disney Studios D23 panel, 5 sequels, 1 original movie. I'll have to look it up. I saw some things popping up on Instagram. I don't know. It's not much for me. Let's go to our phones right now. We got a guy, Ho DeMayo, a.k.a. Devin Snow, live from Spread Quarters. Fresh off another weekend worth of shows. Derek Carr now 2-0 as a starter in 2024. Shout out my fellow Carney, Dabo Saban, for that one. Hey, Dev, so how are we feeling? Clint Kubiak, all he's doing, he's saving the good plays for the regular season, dude.
Yeah. 2-0, 2 completed passes.
Yep. That's good. That's good efficiency.
I looked into this, and you cannot find a quarterback, whether it's a first string, a second string, a third string, or a fourth string, that only completed 2 balls. That's before we talk about what this guy's getting paid. That's before we talk about all the pressure that was already on him. He couldn't do a single thing to relieve it. If you didn't think that Derek Carr was back, here's what we saw. We saw Derek Carr almost throw an interception on his first pass. We saw Derek Carr overthrow Olave, and I know it's the O-lineman's fault that he overthrew him. Okay, and then the last thing where you really know that Derek Carr is back is on 3rd and 13. He throws the check down, not to Olave, not to Kamara, not to anybody that could get out their own way. Throws it to Jamal Williams. Let's get back on the sideline and call it a day, man. Derek Carr is back.
Got to get on schedule. Got to get on schedule. Can't be too risky here, Dev. If you go for big plays all the time, you're going to open yourself up to a lot of mistakes, okay? You got to trust this excellent Saints defense to carry you.
The fourth sign that Derek Carr is so back, he's asked, how'd they do? I don't know why they did this interview. I mean, they obviously.
Oh, wait, I haven't heard this. I need to hear this.
Oh, yeah. Quote unquote, good for the first time out.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with.
Yep.
Can't even acknowledge, hey, man, I got to play better, dude. You know what I'm saying? I had 12 yards as the starting quarterback, getting paid 30-something million. I had 12 yards today. Good for the first time out. That's what we dealing with.
Look, Jacoby Brissett went 0 of 3 for the Patriots. So against the Panthers the other night. So I just found a quarterback right there.
Brissett's probably making about $4.5 million and is going to be the backup to Drake May.
Dev, so what was the fan reaction in spread quarters like on Saturday?
Move on from that?
It's the same. The fans are right. Very, very rarely can you say that all the fans, and it's probably like 98% of Saints fans just really can't stand this dude. And it's because of stuff like this, right? So they are right. The fans are right, man. It's just the truth, man. And for I see it in the chat. Pennon almost got caught killed. Brother, at what point can this guy do anything other than just be a starting quarterback? We paying him like he's got some type of ability to overcome adversity, but he doesn't. He doesn't. If the O-line isn't perfect, then guess what? Derek Carr can't do his job. Dude, I've never heard of that. I seriously, man. Like quarterbacks have been hit since the existence of football, but yet this guy needs everything perfect. He needs a concrete wall in front of him for him to be great. It's just gross, bro. It really is.
All right. So
I think that is a very fair assessment of Derek Carr dealing with pressure. Pressure comes on most plays in the NFL. The greatest to do it, handle it well, stay cool, calm, and collected, step up, find a way, find an arm angle where Derek Carr still struggles to do that.
So I want to be clear here because, I think sometimes we have problems with communication where we kind of have, I want to make sure we're all on the same page. So y'all are not joining me in the Carney Club yet.
What did Dev tell you? Total that son of a gun. Total it. Don't try to save it.
Yeah, we ain't in the same notebook, dude. It's
okay. That's okay.
It's come on, man. I mean, give us something to rally around, man.
Look, I told you, Kubiak's saving the good plays, bro. Just relax. Okay, how about this? Go ahead.
Man, screw the plays. Just be dude, we paying you like a top 15 quarterback. Dude, make a play.
How about
Make
this?
a play, man.
How about this? If we want to focus on something positive, then ultimately, this is a Saints team that is going to be defined by its defense, right? That's if you're going to make the playoffs, that's going to be the reason why. The offense will just have to be good enough because I think the defense can be elite, and they looked awesome. 4 sacks.
They did.
15 pressures. Chase Young looking like all the hype from this preseason has been justified. Brian Brzee getting involved. Nathan Shepard. Carl Granderson very consistent. The secondary, even without Marshawn Lattimore, I thought the defense looked awesome.
Yeah, no, the defense first team, even the second team, didn't even give up a first down in the first half. I mean, you can't I give the Saints a D+, maybe a C in this game just because of the defense. You know what I'm saying? And then Spencer Rattler just simply off of effort. Look at the difference, bro. Look at the third down for Spencer Rattler compared to the third down for Derek Carr. Derek Carr checked down. Third down for Spencer Rattler? Bro, I'm running it in the end zone.
Okay. Yes. No, look, I love the Rattler play. Don't get me wrong. But, come on. They're operating from two completely different standpoints there. But I feel you. I'm not taking away from the Rattler play. That thing was – I loved what I saw to Spencer Rattler. And the arm talent's crazy. You see the ball just explode out of his arm.
Yeah. Look at the interviews, man. Look at the Derek Carr interview bringing up the excuse. Nobody's even asking for the excuse. They're not even leading up to it.
Wait,
right?
so how do you feel about Haener, though? Because Haener had the strongest day of the 3.
I do like Haener. There's something about Haener that just doesn't scream starting quarterback to me. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible because I do like the guy and I love his effort. Something, when you're watching it, it just doesn't scream starting quarterback. It could be an aura thing. I don't know. But if I got to pick out of 2, you got to pick Spencer Rattler. that's where the momentum is right now. Derek Carr, man, if he don't play good in them first 4 games, man, we are gonna see Spencer Rattler. I know it, man. I know it. I'm smiling because I know it.
I just don't know if DA has that in him, Dev. I'm going to be honest. I mean, he's got such a relationship with Derek Carr. He plays everything so safe. He's a defensive-minded head coach. Like, I can't even see him, even if it is justified, which I can certainly see that. I don't know where you stand, but I can't see Dennis Allen making that call.
Andy Dalton was basically Derek Carr, and
but
like
better.
you had
Better.
He was better.
him. That's not. I mean, okay. You had him, and I feel like Dev, you're getting your hopes up in the same way like a Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton situation. If you're hoping that they're going to put Rattler in for Carr, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do with my hopes, though? Because the starting quarterback, he does nothing for he won't elevate my hopes whatsoever. He refuses to do it. If this would have been a regular season game, this would have been the game like last year, and we wound up winning this game. But this would have been the game where Derek Carr had 82 passing yards through 3 quarters. And I just think that at some point we got to see something extra out of this dude. It can't just be, hey, I'm the starting quarterback. Hey, I've been in the league all these years, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what can you do to overcome your Trevor Penning being bad? Can you make a throw? Can you extend a play? Can you do anything, make a throw under pressure? You know, and I know this is just one preseason game, but we talking about this because this is how it was last year too. So
if you were asking what to do with your hope, I would tell you, like Aomer told the big 3, do not trust to hope. It is forsaken in these lands. So I don't know that you should put your hope in anything that DA's going to do if your hopes are that Spencer Rattler's going to end up being the starter this year.
It's the lion. It's the lion for me, too. When he talks, he lies. And for a guy that's supposedly such a great dude, why do you lie so much? You feel bad for our fans? No, you don't. You miss our fans? No, you don't, bro. I know you don't, because guess what? None of the fans miss you, dude. So stop saying all this.
I talked to a guy at the best stop in Manny this weekend, and he told me he thinks their car's going to be pretty good. You know, I don't know.
Wait, who said this?
A guy at the best stop in Manny this weekend.
He ran into the gas station in Manny, Louisiana.
Yep. He also chopped me up some fine specialty meats. No, you know, a little meat store. Meat store, you know. Fire chicken crackling. Great.
I believe you.
Little Nani sweet heat finishing glaze. What?
How can you say it is good for the first time out, man? Like, the lies are just...
well, this is before the game. We talked. This is before.
No.
You're saying how can Carr say that?
When Carr got interviewed after 2 for 6, 12 yards, how do you legitimately say that good for the first time out?
Were there any false starts? You know, any delay in games? Operationally, seems pretty good to me. You know, first time out, no penalties. That's what we're looking for. I think Trevor Penning got a holding later, but that's okay.
Brother, you're gonna ride this car straight to hell.
Yeah, I am. I'm committed. I'm committed.
Yeah.
I see real estate. I'm telling you guys, there's oil in these here hills. We're just not digging in the right spot yet. Okay, we're gonna find gold. Just wait. Give me some of that black and gold. Get it?
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, you know, shout out to Spencer Rattler just for doing what he did. Seriously.
Shout out Chase Young. Like, why are we sitting here talking about these guys? You're talking about Chase Young being a baller. You should be talking about Brian Brzee, Nathan Shepard.
Yeah.
A.T. Perry.
A.T. Perry had a great game, dude.
Perry. Yeah, A.T. Perry. Shout out to all the guys that showed up. Yes. Shout out to all the guys. Not the guys that checked it down on 3rd and 13 said, hey, let me get off the field, man. I ain't got nothing to prove. Brother, you got something to prove. I don't know. The lack of awareness is incredible.
Do you hate Alvin Kamara?
Who?
Alvin Kamara. Do you hate Alvin Kamara? Did he do anything?
I mean, dude, he had 2 carries.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, 6 passes, 2 carries.
Kind of quarterback has been in the league for 10 years and playing as a starter. How do you complete 2 balls for 12 yards, dude?
Yeah, I know. I know. But he almost hit Olave, dude. He almost hit Olave on the deep ball. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember it.
When's the next preseason game, guys? Next week.
Who we play the 49ers next? They don't even want to practice again.
Yeah,
they have like 12 guys on IR.
Yeah,
or
so
something
that
insane.
that did get canceled. Those joint practices, because 49ers are so beat up, did get canceled. So the 18th is the next preseason game, and you're on the road against the 49ers.
Okay, let's go. Who dat? Let's go, baby. About to get it right.
Let's go, baby.
Hey,
yeah, let's go, man.
Nowhere to go but up, Dev. You know, it's only up from here. So get excited. Trevor Penning's even going to get better.
That's true. And you know, one thing I do want to give Dennis Allen credit for. This dude, year in, year out, he's just providing a great defense. You know, people can say what they want about this man. The way that he gets defenses ready, it's beautiful. You know,
I agree.
We're gonna have a top 10 defense this
I think.
year.
I think the goal needs to be top 5. Because just looking at scoring defense, you were 9th 2 years ago. You were 6th last year. I think you got better this offseason. You should be top 5.
Are you saying to make up for the poor quarterback play?
Yes. It's literally exactly what I'm saying.
5.
For the offensive line and the offense and the quarterback all probably sucking, if you're going to make the playoffs, you're going to have to be top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And you know, my favorite thing is hey, when people say, hey, Derek Carr just needs to be a game manager. Dude, at what point did we sign this guy for $30-something million a year, and now he just needs to be a Rex Grossman? Like, bro, we fall so far from the expectation. It's sick. Like,
no, he should not
demand this guy to be good.
I think that if somebody's saying that, I think they're probably meaning it in like if the Saints are going to win, not in that you should be satisfied for what you're paying him. Because if he is a game manager, that'll get you about 8 wins, something like that. But yeah, if he's going to be worth the money and justify it, he's got to be better than that and more than that. And then that's the only way that you can maybe push to 10. So we'll see.
Well, we can get out of this after this year. I know this because Madden's never wrong about the contract, and I was able to let Carr go after the second year. So
hell yeah,
as a wash. So I can't wait, man.
Dem Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, RB and R Day, coming up later today. HCMsports.com/shop for all of their wonderful merch needs. Go follow them on YouTube if you want to go check out Spread Quarters live after all the Saints games. It's a very good show, very good time. Dad, take it easy, brother.
All right, y'all take care.
Jake, when we get back, I saw you leap to the computer with your Andy Dalton and Derek Carr propaganda. So when we get back, you can lay it out.
So similar.
Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. For all your plumbing needs, they got a massive fleet, guys, okay? They got 24/7 emergency service. They got all licensed, bonded, insured employees. They send you blurbs ahead of time about who's coming in your home so you can trust who's coming in your home. There's just peace of mind every single step along the way when you're talking about Central Plumbing. So don't think twice. Don't overthink it. It's not hard. You got a plumbing problem, you call up Central Plumbing. What if your Carter heater is not working? Call Central Plumbing.
If your what?
Your Carter heater? I'm trying to think of a good Saints plumbing thing.
No, don't.
Trevor Plumbing?
Don't attach either one of those people to the great people over at Central Plumbing.
Yeah.
CentralPlumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless...
Take this pink ribbon off my eyes.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back into OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. It is time now for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Yeah, earlier we were talking about all the NFL rookies, the LSU ones especially, that made their debut. Yesterday, I am sitting at home. I get an update on my phone. Malik Neighbors goes down at practice with an ankle injury. And, you know, you hope the best for it. It looks like it's just going to be an ankle sprain. That's kind of what they're saying now. They got to wait for, like, most of the swelling to go down before they get a full evaluation of it. Coach Daboll said he will be held out. They're going to take it day to day. Daboll doesn't believe it's a fracture either. They do believe that it is not
a high ankle.
Maybe a high ankle sprain is what is being reported. So we'll see what happens with Malik to start the season. But not good news coming out of Giants camp.
Oh, God. Being a Giants fan has been so miserable lately, and you had this one ray of hope. Just like, you just, what, does he catch a high ankle?
Well, you got rid of your one good player in Saquon, and you're like, hey, like, we got one offensive weapon. Like, Malik's probably going to have a really good rookie year. He sprains his ankle in preseason.
Gave up drafting a QB to draft Malik.
Wait, what?
Gave up drafting a QB to draft Malik, and it just...
Yeah. Or at least, like, maybe even less, like...
I mean, yeah, it's like the one glimmer of hope.
Yeah,
like,
it's your only ray. It's your only ray of hope, and then he's hurt in freaking camp. And a high ankle is like a year derailing injury because it's not bad enough where you like it just because it lingers. It just lingers, and you try to play through it, and it just never quite goes away, so you can get extended rest. God, that sucks.
I hope it's not a high ankle.
All right, Jake, hit us with your Andy Dalton, Derek Carr comparison.
By the way, I thought NFL Story of the Day was going to be Taylor saying that there's actually 3 white cornerbacks that are expected to make NFL rosters this season. The Broncos, Riley Moss. Eagles, Cooper DeJean. Dolphins, Ethan Bonner. The last time
who's Ethan Bonner, though?
Stanford.
Okay.
The last time a white cornerback started a game in the NFL was over 20 years ago.
Yep. Jason Sehorn, right?
Well, of course. He's always going to be the answer there. I thought that's where you were going as I saw that on the internet all day long. Okay, so Andy Dalton in 2022 completed 67% of his passes. Derek Carr, 68% of his passes last year. Now, Derek Carr threw for 3,800. Andy Dalton was 2,800, but remember split time kind of with Jameis Winston. Jameis started the season. 7.6 yards per attempt for Andy Dalton, 7.1 for Derek Carr. 18 touchdowns for Dalton, 25 for Derek Carr. 25 sacks for Dalton, 31 for Carr. 96 rating for Dalton, 97 rating for Derek Carr.
That's what I needed.
So,
Let's go!
No.
Yes!
So Andy Dalton, who you gave $3 million to be your backup quarterback, came in and did basically the same exact things, actually had more yards per attempt than check down Charlie, and you're giving Derek Carr $60 million guaranteed. So you're getting the same play from a $3 million backup quarterback to a $60 million guaranteed quarterback.
You're getting 1 passer rating point better. Objectively better, okay? When you reach the height of anything, it's called the law of diminishing returns, right? It's like hard to find the areas in which you can improve. And so, if you want to go from a 96 to a 97 passer rating, sometimes that takes an increase of $37 million in salary per year.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is just team building theory, as I understand it. Head over to Accutemp, guys, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com for all your AC, heat, and electrical needs. You want to go to Accutemp. They are, they say service to the highest grade. Hey, the slip service. They mean it, guys, okay? They're going to blow you away the first time you work with them. Also, you need like a whole home generator. They got your back, keep you safe during storm season. Make sure you never lose power. Go to Agtemp Baton Rouge today. More OTB next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. You need a service? Car getting in an accident? Go check out the Service Center Body Shop over there off of Airline and Goodwood. Very conveniently located. All makes and models welcome. They give you free fresh estimates. They have great lines, communication, texting, calling, whatever you want, however you prefer. They don't make any decisions without you giving the big thumbs up. They have shuttle services that'll drop you off, pick you back up right there on site. They got factory parts on site. They have rental cars right there on site with cheaper per day rental prices to traditional rental companies. So, it's a one-stop car shop. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Yeah, remember that you can go ahead and reserve that rental for the trip that you've got coming up to go watch the Tigers play this fall, and everything is available. You need something bigger, better on gas mileage, maybe something smaller. Maybe it's a quick weekend getaway with just you and your partner. You can do it all at AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Musco.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet. The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Performing is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB close of the show. A little Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Curse Light. Visit our Tilted Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Suite. What a pleasure. We have the Villarreal family here in the studio. Alondra's mom and sister in studio. That's awesome. How was Jack Bottom?
Jack Bottom was great. It's actually Zach Top.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they were great.
Yeah.
Or he was awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Great up and coming country artist.
Ask the Bench. How does T-Bob feel about the car castration bet now? I feel great, guys.
No.
I feel great. I am not sweating it. Derek Carr is going to be good. I just can't wait. I just let me know how you like your crow cooked. Okay. You want it smoked. Maybe like low and slow in the crock pot or something where it just like fall off the bone.
I would love to sit down and have you ridicule me for 30 minutes because Derek Carr proved us all wrong. I would love that. That means the Saints are relevant. That means the Saints are good. That means that we get to talk about good Saints on this show. I would sit here and I'd take every single minute of it.
Hold the Mail says that we could have had Baker Mayfield. That would have been fire. Dude has the competitiveness we needed that position. I mean, I would definitely take Baker over him for sure.
I would take anybody over him.
I'd
take Andy Dalton over.
Yeah. Why? He's a 96 rated passer versus 97.
For $3 million.
Couldn't be me. Again, you know what? How bad do you want it? Sometimes you got to pay $36 million for a little upgrade. Ask the Bench.
Little. 1% wise.
$33 million. Okay.
Scooch.
$33 million because Andy was making $3 million. Ask the Bench. Jake, would you rather have some spoiled food or Derek Carr as your quarterback?
Spurled.
Jeff says, Jake, you're delusional if you think T-Bob would only get you on 30 minutes.
It'd be the whole show.
It would be 3 hours. I would just sit here.
Don't let Derek get hot. Don't
let him have like one game.
Dude. Don't let him have one game.
Season opener, he throws 250, 3 touchdowns.
I'll be insufferable. Jeff G, tell me all of Taylor's secrets. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow. More OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. That's KTOZblinds.com. You want window coverings that wow? Well, guess what? K to Z's got your back, man. It's football season, okay? So maybe you're going to be outside grilling, chilling, cooking like my guy Carr. Well, why don't you look into some drop-down exterior shades? We're going to keep you cool during this heat. Take your backyard to the next level. You can have a lot of dual benefits as well when it comes to cooling off the house, helping out with glares on the TV on the end and outside. Can change everything for you. That's what KTZ does. They tie everything together, bring it to the next level. Go to KTZ window coverage, KTOZblinds.com.
Yeah, now's the perfect time to try out that outdoor shade that I've been telling you about. I mean, football season, outdoor space, you're trying to watch a game, you drop that shade, it cools it down, and it blocks that glare from your TV. It makes it enjoyable to watch football outside. Again, KTOZblinds.com.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further.